to do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safer Liquid Beer for the podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's not static, AM radio. It's the
Nielson Show, let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. The cracker 6 o'clock and logging with some sirloin bites.
On a Monday morning, and that conch goes out to everybody with the exception of the Edmonton Elks. They do not deserve the conch. They do not deserve anything after that performance last night. Atrocious. One of the worst. Think about how bad this team has been for how long now. That one might have been the worst. I would have taken Cornelius throwing the ball with his left hand. At least he was trying to do something. That was tough. That was tough. We're going to have a lot of reaction to it today for sure. It is the Nielsen Show. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. And no Lieutenant Eric today. And I know some people are like, where's Fraze? Dusty and Fraze. Yeah, Fraze is actually unavailable for the first few days of the week. And then I think him or Jama will be in with Maddie Thursday, Friday. I have to fly to Montreal on Wednesday afternoon. So you've got me for the next 3 shows. We'll have more of YouTube, Trev. And on Wednesday, I'm very excited about this. The third hour on Wednesday, Marshall Bokeith Nielsen will be riding shotgun with me. And he's extremely excited. He's already prepping for his and the Muzz is going to pop in for the final 10 minutes. She's trying to negotiate half an hour right now. I'm like, I don't think we can do half an hour, Muzz. Oh, nice. Yeah, she just says, and I'm coming in for 30 minutes. Yeah. I said, well, I don't know, 30 minutes. But Marshall's going to rank his top 10 players in the NHL. Muzz says she's going to do the same. I told Marshall he can have like Marshall's playlist where he can pick 3 songs, any songs, home run, goal songs, whatever. We'll play those as well. And, We'll find out. I'm going to ask him on the air. What hurt more, watching his Bombers lose 3 straight Grey Cups or his Oilers lose 2 straight Stanley Cup Finals?
Well, that'll be a good one.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. That should be fun. He'll join us at 8 o'clock on Wednesday, which should be pretty good. Him and the Muzz were getting into it last night because we're driving home after the game, and Marshall's like, "My God, the Elks are brutal." And Elizabeth, she might have been the only person in the city last night who is still defending the Double E. She's like, no, they're not, Marshall. And he's like, yes, they are. He's like, Daddy, do you think they're garbage? And I was just like, well, and she goes, Daddy, don't eat. At one point, Marshall said, kids are, we're driving home. He goes, put your hands up if you think the Elks suck. And he put his hand up. And I slowly started to put it up. And Elizabeth in the rearview mirror looks at me and goes, "You put your hand down, Daddy." Like she's still.
You don't.
But then in a brilliant 8-year-old move, she turns to Marshall and goes, "How many Grey Cups have the Bombers lost?" And then she just started giving him the gears for 3 straight Grey Cup failures. So, it was a good battle on the truck on the way home. Yesterday, more of a battle than we saw on the field yesterday. Wheels over the chat says, "Bring Dave Jamieson on the show." No, it's funny. Both JMO and Will are unavailable till later in the week. Now, with that being said, maybe neither of them want to work with me. I don't know what I've done to them, but we'll be okay. All right, you can text us anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox. I'm going to be popping by PJ's today. It's a conch for my wife. It's her birthday today. I always remember that it's my wife's birthday because July 14th is the day that Cameron Poe got out of jail and was going to see his daughter for the first time in the movie Con Air. So it's always easy. July 14th. It's an easy way to remember my wife's birthday.
You love Con Air.
I love Con Air a lot.
I watched it actually a decent amount growing up.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all.
July 14th. I'm going to see my daddy for the first time on July 14th.
Yeah.
And so that's how I always remember. I should also remember because it's Dan's birthday, but it's an easy one for me because our anniversary's on the 17th, and sometimes I'll get them mixed up.
You got a crystal or anything?
So no, I'm going. I was texting with Maddie from Paris Jewelers yesterday, and I said, "Hey, you guys still selling crystal stuff at PJ's?" And 4 of the locations have some crystal. So apparently, she'll be sleeping. Her and the kids are just crushing sleep-ins right now in the summer. They don't even watch the show.
Jealous.
So the 15th wedding anniversary is supposed to be crystal or a watch.
Crystal watch.
So I don't know if crystal watches exist. Thanks for simplifying it, Trev. So I'll go take a peek at what I don't even know what you get for crystal, but we'll see. And if not, I'll get her some sort of watch. I guess I don't know. I'll figure that out.
Maybe like a bracelet.
Well,
kind of like a watch. It's around your wrist.
Close. Not technically. Can't really tell time on a bracelet. So I don't think a bracelet and a watch, outside of being things you put on your wrist, are that comparable.
But it would be beautiful. Bracelets are beautiful.
It could be nice. I think I recently got her a bracelet though. It's tough. Look, as a husband, I'll just say it. It's tough having birthday and anniversary 3 days apart. It's like, what do I get for this? What do I get for that? Do we celebrate at the same time? Like and then this year, our actual anniversary is Thursday, and I'll be in Montreal, so I won't even be here. So she's sad about that, and it kind of sucks. But a job's a job, and you've got to do what you got to do. And this weekend kind of sucked too, because I was supposed to call a game Friday night, fly home Saturday, be home at noon, and have the rest of the weekend off. And then smoke delay pushes a game to Saturday. I call that game, and then some things popped up with our staff, and they had to send Rod to do the game in Hamilton, and he was supposed to do the game in Edmonton. So then I stepped in and did the game yesterday on short notice. But it's easy working with Dwayne Ford. He's amazing. So it was. That being said, I would have rather just sat in the crowd and booed like everybody else.
That would have been good. Wait, is that Dustin Nielson? By God.
Look at him.
It's Dustin.
I'm standing up in section B. You guys suck. Yeah. We want Cody. Yeah. Like just leading the. I think that's the guy from TSN is usually in the booth. What's going on? Hey, I conched to everybody who was down on the field after the game last night. I must have bumped into. I was down there when I got down. So they have a countdown on the scoreboard for after the game when everybody's on the field. And I got down there yesterday I think I got down with about 7 minutes left. And Marshall and the Muzz and Tam were down there. And I swear to God, like 8-9 people came up, took a picture, hung out, chatted with them. It was great. It was a ton of nasties on the field last night. So that was a
solid
nice
turnout.
Yeah, it was.
Hey,
how are you doing today, buddy? You had quite the weekend, eh?
Man, yeah. Well, we'll get to it in good, bad, and ugly. I'll give it a little.
Give me a tease.
Foreshadowing.
Give me a tease.
It was unreal. I had so much fun.
You were at the glue guy daughter birthday party.
Yes, last one standing. It was Glue Guy and myself. We didn't go to bed till 5 o'clock. We were
By a fire outside?
By the fire.
All timer.
We had the jukebox. He has a jukebox, man.
He has a jukebox?
Yeah, and so he's just showing me it. He's like, play whatever you want. You ever seen one of these before? And it's been forever, but it was so fun. Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I'll get into it a little bit more, but all of a sudden the sun's coming up and he's like, we should probably get to bed. My phone died like immediately when I got there. And I'm like, what time is it? I'm like, this kind of looks familiar when I'm getting up on weekdays. And then sure enough, he's like, it's 5 o'clock. And so we're like, oh crap. And then next thing you know, we're up at 8 and he had breakfast. He looked like $1 million. I can't say the same for myself.
So you slept for 3 hours?
Yeah.
Then you went and did tailgate yesterday.
Yeah, but before tailgate, I had a soccer game. It was tough, man.
Oh, man.
I wasn't.
You went and played soccer yesterday, too?
I had a heat stroke. I had something, man. I was in rough shape. I can't even describe it, but I swear I could see my pulse. That doesn't even make sense, but like I swear, like everything just got big, and I was like hearing my pulse and seeing it. It was the weirdest thing ever, but yeah, it was okay. It was fun though. Like the game sucked, the soccer game sucked. The Elks, obviously, we'll talk about that. But my night with Glue Guy, one to remember, that's for sure.
That's good. That's good. A highlight of the weekend.
Absolutely.
Trev and Glue Guy.
Yes.
Up to 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. 6 o'clocker for life over in the chat. And if you're watching over on YouTube today, smash the thumbs up for us here. We'll lay out the show for you in a second. We are coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. If you're looking for a little summer snack, and get your hands on their chicken wraps because they're absolutely delicious. 6 o'clocker for life says, how was Sask Friday night, Dusty? Would you have rather been in the pill zone? Oh, man. I would have killed for a drink on Friday night. Like, we'll come back around to this whole delay with the good, bad, and ugly as well. But I have to give credit to Riders fans for sticking that thing out. Because we thought it was just going to be a 3-hour delay. We're like, if the players aren't on the field by 9:30, then the game's not going to start at 10. However, the 3-hour delay rule is only for games that have technically started. This one never started. So like, we're just going to try. And then it got to the point where it was like Kramer with the guy and the gas in the vehicle. We're like, let's just ride this out as long as we can. And maybe we'll be a part of something special, like an 11:15 Friday night football kickoff. But like the smoke quality needed to be at a 7, and at like 9:30 it was at like a 14. Like it was not even remotely close. So probably could have made the decision on it earlier, but I understand why they try to get that thing in. But yeah, I sat there for I was at the stadium I had a meeting with some people at the stadium at 4, and we were there till 11 and did not call a football game.
Yeah. That's tough. Just twiddling your fingers.
That was tough. And then we knew that it was going to be called like about 15 minutes before they actually announced it. So we start packing our stuff and we're like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So we go and then we get to the truck. And I said to Suits, I said, I feel bad leaving while they haven't even announced that it's done.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, okay. He goes, let's just wait till 10:45 when they announce it.
Oh, okay.
So we're standing there by the truck waiting. And then the entire officiating crew walks by us. And I'm like, well, if they're leaving, I think we can go. Okay. So then we left. So yeah, that was insane. And it was smoky. Like it was bad. But the party was on.
Yes.
The party was on, like to the point where the Riders had to send out the memo, like, we're not going to have cans of beer, enough of them restocked in time. Bring your own drinks, not booze, obviously, because they had some stuff on tap. But there was this one guy in Pill Country. And Pill Country's cool. I'd like to watch a game in Pill Country. Right at the end zone, five levels, standing room, and a good young crowd in there. There was this one guy that, where everybody's killing time, going around just shooting stuff, whatever. And we take a TSN camera over to this one guy in Pill Country, and every time we did it, he chugged 2 beers. And then at one point, he saw him, and he's just like, yeah. But he hung in there. He hung in there right to the end. And we saw later at 10:30, this guy still had a pill in his head. I was like, oh my God. And then
look at him.
And then we saw him. He was staying at the same hotel as us. Saw him at the hotel, and I was like, there's no way that dude's getting up for the game tomorrow. Yeah. And sure enough, I swear to God, he was one of the first 8 people back in Pill Country again. Had another one. So it was you at Glue Guy's house. On Saturday night, like
essentially, yeah. I think it was you tweeting him out. A huge shout out to this guy.
Yeah, I put that guy out, and he had a great outfit on, and he was awesome. Just straight up beauty. That was a lot of fun.
I forget who reported it, but that's how I found out. It was a tweet, and it was just saw Dusty and Suter walk by me. No game today.
Yeah,
they're leaving.
We're out of here.
No guy can confirm.
Sat around for that long. It was weird because the next day we showed up. All of our prep was done. We were ready to go. So it was a bit of a bizarre weekend, and then coming back here and kind of doing this game on short notice, and then the Elks just, laying an egg. And we're gonna a lot of the show today. We'll be talking about this football team right now because I actually liked the crowd yesterday. Yeah. I know they only announced it at less, just under 18, but that was up from the last game. It looked like a pretty decent crowd in that lower bowl yesterday. And then they go out and put out that performance. Like I'm sorry, it's unacceptable. Like Chris Morris and Ed Hervey, I get it. You guys are just taking over, but stuff like that can't happen. And performances like that simply can't happen. Like any goodwill you've built up with a fan base, bringing people in, you cannot have that type of game. Like a no-show, an absolute no-show. It was embarrassing. It was one of the most lopsided statistical victories that we've seen in this league in years. So we're going to get to that. Let's lay out the show for you today. And then we'll dive into this game. We're going to have a morning after show, Elks edition. It's nice when they have these Sunday games, at least for our show on Monday. So we'll get into that. We'll hear what Mark Killam had to say after the game last night. We'll hear what Trey Ford had to say after the game last night. And I'm going to ask you, is it time to talk about the quarterback situation? Right? We feared this at the beginning of the year. Like, what if Trey's playing just okay? And last night wasn't just okay. Last night, underthrows Dunbar on an interception that should have been a touchdown, and then overthrows 3 guys deep that were open. And we probably shouldn't have started the second half. So I'm very confused about the quarterback position because last week in a victory, they brought in Cody Fajardo twice. This week, when Trey probably could have used a kick in the ass and sit for a series, they don't bring in Cody Fajardo until later in the game. Cody looks fine later, but then you're like, it's garbage time. So who knows what's going on in that situation? But are you content? Are you content just riding out the year with Trey and seeing if he is indeed the guy moving forward? Or do you sit there in this bye week and go, we think this is a good team. Let's give it a different look at quarterback to see what's up. I'm not too sure where that conversation's at right now. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We are going to get into that as we work our way through the show today as well. As I mentioned, you can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. That's where we'll get to some of those text messages. Good, bad, and ugly from the weekend for the 780. We're going to go there. That'll happen around 6:45 today. AJ Jakubec. AJ is the perfect guest to have on when you're doing solo show. Because I could keep AJ for 35 minutes on 4 questions. He's the best. He's the perfect. As soon as I was just like, wait a second. Like Tommy's off this week. And then Will and JMO, unreachable for the next few days. They'll be in later in the week, I think. So I was just like, I'll fire a text to AJ. And so we'll get Jakubec on. He got a good look at Trey Ford last week. And that's the thing with Trey. Like last week, he didn't throw 40 balls. But last week, he had a perfect quarterback rating. Perfect. 158.3. I don't know the ins and outs of how the quarterback ranking works. If you do,
go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
But I know his was perfect last week. So had you seen, like he's completing passes at a 70% click going into this game, but just atrocious last night. So I'm not 100% sure what to do at the quarterback position moving forward. You've got a guy who won a Grey Cup 2 years ago and was probably the front runner for MOP when he got hurt last year. So tough spot. Anyway, Jakubec will join us just after 7 o'clock. We'll get to your Play Alberta early bird bet of the day and probably dive into what I think the CFL line should be for the upcoming week. 7:30 today, off season. What off season? What off season? Shelov's traded. Do the Oilers even care?
Yeah.
We're going to get into that a little bit.
Good.
You know what pisses me off?
Tell me.
I put out one tweet about Shelov's being moved for peanuts yesterday, and it just gets a ton of replies. And
Yeah.
you tweet about anything else, and it'd be like, oh, and then just like, Shelov's, and the Oilers fans are just like, oh my God. It's just like, care about other stuff.
Yeah.
Care about other stuff. Anyway, we'll get into it. Off season, what off season around 7:30? That's a good for the Italian setter around 7:45 today. Kind of easy trivia. I guess we don't have Eric to do the Mr. Mike's read today. I might have to. What do you think? You want to do it?
No, I don't know. That's all.
I might have to break out my. Oh, some along.
Yeah, that's good. That's more you. That's actually.
We'll see if that works. I don't know.
When you were away, he wasn't even doing it.
He wasn't.
He only does it when you're
That
here.
sneaky boy. That sneaky boy.
If it worked.
Anyway, I'm gonna do it. Why not?
It'll be fun.
3 questions too many for the great staff at Park Mazda. Mark Cordy is scheduled to join us. The Elks booked him for me last night. Did not send me his number, but we'll track down Mark around 8:30. And then the wrap for William Huff, sound of the day, text of the day for A&W. Got A&W gift certificate that we'll give away for text of the day today. So get creative, have some fun, dive in to the Paris Jewelers inbox today. I like Reed's plan today. I was texting with Reed yesterday, and Reed is doing a week on officiating this week. This is that slow week in sports. All right, All-Star break in baseball. Shelov's trades in the NHL. Now the Elks are on a bye, which is even more of a slap in the face to all of us this week on a slow week. But Reed, yeah, what did he say? He texted me yesterday. He's a beauty. He was I think he was at the game last night. I don't know if he was with his parents or not. But so what's Reed's plan this week for his show? Here it is. All right, so he's going to have a local umpire on today, a basketball ref tomorrow, longtime WHL ref Chris Critch on Thursday, and then former NHL ref Dave Jackson, who's now a rules analyst with ESPN, on Friday. So what I'd like to see is everybody tuning into Reed's show and just ripping these officials all week long. Eh? Like,
Let him hear it.
no matter who it is, the local umpire. You suck, ump. I'm actually very excited to hear Reed talk with him about umpires maybe being replaced by technology over the next little while.
Yeah, that'll be.
That could be a thing. Let's get into your morning announcements for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock you can record every single morning. Jess Jackson on the way home. There was that big rock fest over the weekend that Def Leppard played at. I saw Reed was there to see his boys Def Leppard. All-Star break in the big leagues. Toronto Blue Jays, they lost yesterday. Trevor will have more on that with an update. Blue Jays do head into the All-Star break, though, first in the AL East. And I believe I saw on SportsCenter last night with Jermaine Franklin and Laura Dykin that's the first time that's happened since 1993. The Jays in first at the break.
They won that year.
I was going to say, you know what happened in 93?
They won.
They won a World Series. So I'm assuming they will win the World Series again. Yeah. 55 wins the Jays have right now. Franchise record before the break as well. The Yankees are 2 games back. The Red Sox have won 10 in a row. They are 3 games back. But the Toronto Blue Jays, first place in the AL at the break. PJ says Def Leppard played at Country Thunder in Sask last night. Why is Def Leppard playing at Country Thunder? That seems kind of, it's a country festival, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is Def Leppard playing at a country festival?
Wrong. Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
You ever go to a festival? Like a music festival, Dusty?
Great question. I guess the closest I've been to like a big music festival, I went to the Squamish Music Fest.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Out in the spring a long time ago. Eminem was there.
Oh.
So we went and saw Eminem. I can't remember anybody else who played before him, but it was a full day of music, and the bathrooms were filthy, the ground was ruined. Classic classic checklist for a festival. And then by the time the main event comes on in M&M, we're exhausted because we've been there already for like 12 hours.
You're like the Pilsner guy.
Yeah, I was basically pill country guy. Yeah, that's it. Have you done a music festival?
No, man. I've always wanted to, but it's just
I don't see
every year.
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm going to do it, and then I don't do it. Then I'm like, there's always next year.
I think I might be at the point in my life where I might never go to another music festival ever.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
I'm 44.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a huge music guy anyway.
Yeah. It doesn't really move the needle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair, man.
That's a tough one. Ice Cube is in the chat.
Oh,
man, Zach gets up early for a young guy who doesn't work till late morning.
He's golfing.
He's golfing today?
Yeah.
Going for under a 100?
Under 100.
Where's he playing?
I think he's at Rundle. So it's a par 3.
All right.
So,
I still don't like his chances. I still don't like his chances. I gave Zach a tour of the broadcast booth last night. He's very excited because Zach does a lot of play-by-play,
Yeah.
right?
I know. I missed that text.
he was pretty excited to come check out the booth. So I let him hang around. It was funny because he's like, I'm waiting outside the Met press area. So I go in and he has a press pass. I'm like, I think you could have just come in. He goes, oh, I didn't know. I shouldn't have told him that. Yeah, popping in all the time.
Just stay.
Yeah. Anyway, best of luck hitting the links today, Ice Cube. Go break 100. With that being said, if it's a par 3 course, it definitely doesn't count. But fine tune your game, good sir. All right, the morning after show is coming up. Jordan texted this morning to the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. Dusty, you need to have Murray McCord on to discuss who's more overrated, Trey Ford or Connor Bedard. Oh, man. I loved asking Murray that in person last week when we were out at the ranch for the second annual EST Golf Classic, which was a huge success. Once again, thank you to everybody, both listeners and sponsors of that event. It was a really good time. And when I asked Murray that, I was totally baiting him, but he bought it. He took that bait easy.
That was good, man.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was too funny. All right, we've got the morning after show coming up. We're going to hear what Killam had to say. We're going to hear what Trey Ford had to say, and we're going to have the discussion. What do you do? It looked like they were heading in the right direction. They get absolutely now. Nathan Rourke is now 3-1 on the year in games he started. 3 games. Over 3 of those 4 games, he's gone over 300 yards. Mind you, 2 of them were against the Elks defense, which I thought this defense on paper this year was going to be pretty decent. Instead, it's the exact opposite. It's god awful. So we'll get into that a little bit. Good, bad, and ugly from the weekend still to come. AJ Jakubec just after 7:00 this morning. Let's get to a sports update right now with YouTube Trev.
The Edmonton Elks couldn't keep up with the BC Lions, falling 31-14 at Commonwealth Stadium last night. Lions QB Nathan Rourke threw for 345 yards and 3 touchdowns and also rushed in 54 yards, while Elks QB Trey Ford struggled, throwing just 4 completions in 12 pass attempts. The Toronto Blue Jays dropped their second straight game last night, falling 6-3 to the Athletics, now sitting at 55-41 on the season. Still good enough for first place in the AL East with 2 games over the New York Yankees. The Jays aren't back in action until Friday when they take on the Giants. Closer to home, the Edmonton Riverhawks come away with the victory last night at Civic Field. 9-4 is the score over the Port Angeles Lefties. It is All-Star Week, so the Riverhawks aren't back in action until Friday when they take on the Kamloops Northpaws in Edmonton at 7. Yannick Sinner made history as the first Italian man to win at Wimbledon, defeating 2-time defending champion Carlos Alcaraz in a 4-set final. This marks his 4th Grand Slam title and first on the grass. And in the NHL, the Vancouver Canucks trade Artur Shilovs to the Pittsburgh Penguins. In return, the Canucks acquired forward Chase Stillman and a 4th-round pick in the 2027 NHL Draft. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
I can remember back being an 11-year-old kid, about 75 pounds on the basketball court against the neighborhood bully, kicking his behind left, right, and center.
I call you when I need you. My heart's on fire.
When it was all said and done, he was a little upset, so he punched me in the mouth.
You come to me, wild and wild.
My uncles were over on the side, observing, talking amongst themselves, adult things.
When you come to me, give me a.
When he punched me in my mouth, I decided I'm running to my uncle. And you know what he did? He pushed me back to him. I went back and he punched me in my mouth again. I ran to my uncle, looking for protection. Needed Big Brother to protect me. He pushed me back again. And you know what I did? I faced him in the eyes and I said, my uncle's not going to help me. And I punched him in the face. Then I looked him in the eye and I said, then what? Now what? Now what? Now what are you going to do?
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone.
Kavis Reed pump up song. They probably could have used a little bit of Kavis Reed fire last night. I'll just say that. Ice Cube is playing 9 holes at Victoria this morning. So we were way off. At 18 at Rundle.
Well, that's where he was going.
Okay. So
I know.
plans change. Yeah, that's good. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Our Nielson Show original songs brought to you by Totem Outdoor Outfitters. New gear, used gear, trading, consigned support for every season. Hockey equipment and skates ready to go year round, of course, as well. They got the best and most affordable Sharpens in the city. It's a family store that takes pride in finding the right fit for you. Visit them at 7430 99th Street or online, www.totemoutfitters.ca. Local, family owned. Let's support those folks at totemoutfitters.ca. All right, a Teef text in this morning to the Paris Jewelers inbox. This is not, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not going to win text of the day for A&W. Edmonton Elks, maybe they should take a page out of Santa's elves who give more effort packing Santa's sleigh for Christmas than the effort that was shown last night at Commonwealth. What's that comparison? What are we doing here? What is this? Atif, why are you comparing?
Wait,
like, where does that come from?
read this again. Sorry, I was.
Edmonton Elks, maybe they should take a page out of Santa's elves who give more effort packing Santa's sleigh for Christmas than the effort that was shown last night at Commonwealth. A comparison that you might be able to get away with on December 20th. It's July 14th, the day that Cameron Poe was going to see his daughter for the first time. And that's the comparison you're using, Atif? What are we doing? What are we doing here? What is this?
He's reaching so hard.
Of all the comparisons you could possibly come up with, you're comparing the Elks to Santa's elves?
Nailed it, Atif.
In the middle of the summer, yeah, Big Maple. Nailed it, Atif. And Sheldon over in the chat on YouTube says, I want what Atif smokes. Lingus says, Wheels, that's exactly what I was thinking. You and your Christmas references, Atif.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time to be distracted by your worthless chime-ins. Go on.
Your worthless chime-ins. That probably sums up the text that Atif sent in this morning. All right, let's dive into this. Let's do this. Elks morning after show today. Why not? I think there's a few things to discuss. Shall we take a closer look at this game last night? At one point, the BC Lions in this football game had over 400 more yards of offense than Edmonton. Cody Fajardo came in, got some late game stuff, but that was it. That was it. It was 32-14. It should have been 45-7. It was an absolutely horrendous game. Passing yards in the game last night. 345 for Rourke without even really attempting anything deep. Had the one deep shot to Hatcher, who got in behind Terrell Ford, who I would say has probably been a bit of a disappointment so far this year. Passing yards were 345 to 112. Cody Fajardo had 78 yards, going 5 of 7. He didn't come into the game until there was 3 minutes and 52 seconds left, and he ended up with twice as many passing yards as Trey Ford had in the rest of the game. Rushing yards. James Butler is at Commonwealth this morning, still picking up reasonable yardage. Awful last night. Every time they gave him the ball, it was 6 or 7 yards, right up the middle. Somebody do, and you know what else pissed me off last night? Tackle with your arms. Too many times last night you saw Elks flying through. It's like they were diving with their arms by their side, like head first, shoulder first. Like, make a play.
Yeah.
Like, put your arms out, tackle a guy. This trying to hit guys with your shoulders makes no sense to me. Tackle them. On the ground last night, 183 yards rushing for BC, 66 for Edmonton. James Butler got whatever he wanted. He carried the ball 30 times because they could not stop him, which is actually pretty good because I've got him in the Caver Street Fantasy Football League of Adult Things. And I also picked up Javon Catoy off waivers. Somebody dropped him yesterday. The commish, actually. Kev dropped him. I picked him up, put him in the lineup, then beat the commish who dropped him. Classic fantasy twist. Anyway, James Butler, 172 yards. I saw Matt Baker, media relations for the BC Lions. That was the most carries in a football game by a Lions running back since 1968. 1968 was the last time a BC Lions running back had 30 carries. They probably should have had more. They could have handed the ball off every single time. They didn't even need the 350 passing yards from Rourke last night. Time of possession. The BC Lions had the ball for 42 minutes and 54 seconds of a 60-minute game. Unofficially, according to John Hodge from 3 Down Nation, unofficially, that is the second highest total since the CFL started tracking time of possession in 1996. That's almost 30 years. That's the type of game that it was last night. The EST big moment that happened. I mean, pick one. Anything that the BC Lions did offensively was a big moment that happened last night. But maybe the biggest moment that happened was the interception early in the game. Crowd is great. They're fired up. You're coming off a win. You held BC to a field goal attempt. Actually, not even at that point. You actually got the ball. I don't think BC had scored then. It's all merging together now. Trey with a couple of scrambles. And you know, on the 66 yards rushing or whatever they had last night, the bulk of that came on the first 2 plays of the game. Justin Rankin carried the ball 3 times. 3 times. This guy had 170 yards last game. Gave the ball 3 times. 4 yards. Maybe your offense could stay on the field if you're able to accomplish anything in the running game. But atrocious numbers across the board for the Double E yesterday. And look, they can call themselves the Elks. They can call themselves the Double E. They can change their name back to the Eskimos. You're going to play like this? Nobody's going to watch you. You have to play better than that. That's what we're talking about. This is not us overstating a game in which they played well and lost and we're unfairly ripping them. This is a team that has sucked for years, and last night might have been the most embarrassing of all of them. And now you have to sit and wonder where this season's going. But the big moment, Trey Ford, couple of scrambles, gets the ball up to midfield. You're thinking, okay, they got something cooking. And then he throws a deep shot. Dunbar has his man beat. He's gone. Drop it in there. That's a touchdown. Trey Ford underthrows it. If you look at the slow-mo, it's wobbling when it comes in. And still a great play by Gary Peters, who's been one of the best corners in the league for a while. Dunbar and Peters kind of both have it. Dunbar's going down backwards. Peters is sort of standing up, and I think he was able to leverage the ground to yank that ball out of Dunbar's hands and take it away. But that was a big moment. I mean, you throw that ball efficiently. Dunbar gets it. It's a house call. The place blows up. You're on top early. Maybe you still get torched, but that would have helped things for sure. The super stat of the night, I got to go back to the time of possession thing. I mean, they almost had the ball the entire bloody game. It was awful. 3 stars of the game last night. There's nobody on Edmonton, I'll tell you that. Nathan Rourke, James Butler, Keon Hatcher. Pretty simple. I would say Butler was the first star of the game last night, 172 yards and 30 carries. Nathan Rourke is probably second star of the game last night. He went 26 of 30 for 345 yards. Like Nathan Rourke did, and they ran like the same 3 things. They'd hand it off to James Butler, most of the time right up the middle, didn't matter. Or they'd run Nathan Rourke out to his right, and then he'd come back kind of to the second option. That was done over and over and over again, or he just kept hitting Keon Hatcher on these outs. Could not be stopped. Hatcher caught all 9 targets. He was targeted 9 times. Caught all 9 of them. Most of them he was wide open on. 130 yards. Stanley Berryhill. Caught 6 of 7, 80 yards, touchdown. Javon Katoy, waiver wire wonder pick of the week. 6 of 6, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Think about this. BC embarrassed Edmonton yesterday. Justin McInnes, who led the league in receiving yards last week, had 1 catch for 12 yards. They didn't even have to use the best receiver in the league. And they still had over 500 yards of offense. Mark Killam. Let's hear what he had. We're here from Trey Ford, too. Let's hear what Killam had to say yesterday.
All right, Coach. Tough one. Tell us about it a little bit.
Yeah, just got completely beat in all 3 phases, got out-coached.
When you look at, there's a lot of injuries on that defensive side. I know you're not an excuse guy, but does that play a role in this?
I mean, I felt like we had enough bodies to cover it. I mean, you know, the thing about injuries is they're going to happen. And, you know, if I go in for somebody that's injured, 1, I have to know what I'm doing. But 2, that's my opportunity. And that's what we all want is an opportunity. So that wasn't why we lost.
Okay, on the offensive side of the ball, not really a whole lot of luck moving the ball today. Was there something that you saw that was happening out there that just wasn't clicking?
I'll just have to look at the tape on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any update on any of the injuries?
Nope. I don't have an update on that.
None yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Changing with Trey struggling and the offense kind of struggling there. Cody comes in. Last week we had the change that was kind of planned. This week wasn't planned and then just came in there just at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried to roll them. I said it on the headset at the start of the fourth quarter, but then we couldn't get off the field on D. I don't know. I think they went on a 6-7 minute drive. So, I mean, it looked like cleanup time. I was trying to give them a little bit more time just to try to give us a spark.
Okay.
Probably should have gone to it at halftime. Trey Ford was 2 of 8 for 28 yards at a pick at halftime. I don't know why you wouldn't make that switch. I don't know what the heck was going on last week with bringing in Cody a couple of times, but you probably should have gone to Cody Fajardo hell of a lot earlier. At least the final 3 minutes of the first half is what killed him last night. Make a stop defensively. They didn't. It was pretty much over at halftime. Maybe, and then, you know what? I was thinking at halftime, I thought, well, maybe come out, you give Trey a series and see what happens. They came out, they went 2-0. At that point, see ya. Bring in Cody Fajardo. And Cody Fajardo running for his life a little bit as well in that game last night, but he ended up making some plays. Abutsky over in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. That would be great. Let's change 100 here. What are we? 36 away from that. So if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up first. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please just tell your friends about EST and how easy it is to consume everything that we're doing. Abutsky says the stats probably say differently, but I was sitting at Commonwealth last night and I was thinking that the 27-0 home shutout loss to those same Lions in 2023 was actually worse. Yeah, I mean, they suck against BC. Nathan Rourke has owned them. He's now 5-0 against them. Even Jeremiah Mazzoli is 4-0 against these guys. So this one's tough to swallow because it looked like they were sort of headed in the right direction. Maybe Ottawa's just that bad. All right, do we have Trey Ford? Trey Ford, a night to forget for the starting quarterback of this team. He finishes 4 of 12 for 34 yards and an interception. Didn't get replaced until there was 4 minutes left. Here's what Trey had to say after the game.
So tell us a little bit about what you saw out there tonight.
Yeah, it was a tough game. I mean, I'm looking at the iPads, where I'm supposed to throw the ball, and it's crazy because the game, obviously, we got beat up, right? And a lot of that was my fault. But it just sucks because I'm watching the iPad and I'm out there and I'm feeling good, right? Like, I'm seeing everything clear. Like, I'm seeing the man. I'm throwing at the right spot. But again, we didn't capitalize on some of those opportunities, right? I threw Dunbar a little bit short there early on in the first quarter, ended up getting picked. Missed Rankin on a corner. Julian Grant there later on in the third quarter on a crosser. They were in man. We got what we wanted. Kind of got hit while I was throwing it, but again, I missed that one. Missed the one to Zach down the sideline. I missed the reset back to Julian Grant. So just a lot of missed throws today, but it just sucks because I felt like I seen the field really well. I feel like I made a lot of the right reads again, but you just got to be able to finish it, right? So.
Did see a little bit more of you using your feet this game. Was that just an opportunity that presented itself, or was that part of the plan?
Yeah, it kind of just presented itself, right? We did like an RPO, and they're in man. We had 2 hooks, and they kind of trapped our corner inside, outside. And then it left nobody for me, right? So then I scrambled there. A couple scrambles earlier on in the game as well. Opportunity kind of presented itself, like you said, and just tried to take advantage of it.
Trey, team as a whole, a couple of injuries early on to key guys as well. Did it feel like one of those nights where, outside the offense, just team as a whole, to reiterate, nothing was going right? It was just going to go that way the whole night?
I'd say a little bit, right? I mean, it just kind of happened again. I think the offense has to help out the other phases, right? They help out us, right? Defense got to stop, and we're able to score off of it. They got a turnover. I thought our special teams has played well all year. But again, offensively, right, we had a lot of 2-and-outs. Struggled to run the ball today too. It just wasn't our day. So.
Trey, what specific coverage sets was BC giving you the mid-year?
Honestly, they ran a lot of man, and we knew they were going to run man. And again, offense did not look great today, obviously. But I made the right read, threw it to the right spot, but again, just didn't connect, right? I think I overthrew Rankin, underthrew Dunbar, right? So that's really what it was. I don't think they did anything that really stopped us, to be honest. And I know it sounds bad looking at the score and the stats, but again, a lot of that's just on me. I just missed throws today. So.
You have Cody on the sidelines. He was a young quarterback at one point too. Does he help talk you through that a little bit when you have kind of a game like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was right there too, telling me, like, I'd come off the sideline and he's like, you did the right thing, you threw it to the right spot, but we just got to make the throw, right? So, he kind of seen that, and we were kind of talking back and forth. It's 2 different things when you're out there and you're just missing throws, and you're out there and the defense is confusing you, and you're not finding your reads. So I felt good today playing the quarterback position, other than the fact that I missed some throws, right? So, perfect.
I mean, part of the quarterback position is not missing throws. You can have all the reads that you want to make. I mean, got to make those throws. It's simple as that. So, I don't know. We'll get into it a little bit with AJ, and I want your thoughts on it. Here's the. We're gonna get to good, bad, ugly coming up here quickly. Here is the decision that needs to be made during this bye week. Do you actually think you can get your team into the postseason this year? If that is the case, you start your best quarterback, and I'm sorry, the best quarterback this team has is Cody Fajardo. Okay? I've said this to a million people over the last 2 months. Trey Ford does a lot of things that nobody else can do. He does. Athletically, he's very gifted. But Trey Ford also can't do some things that everybody else can do. Right? There are elements that all the other starting quarterbacks in the league can make, some of the throws that they can make that Trey can't. And Trey can run around and be creative, and we saw it early in the game last night. Your best chance to win right now is probably with Cody Fajardo. So do you do that? Or do you sit here and go, you have to know what you have in Trey by the end of this season for the future of the franchise? So do you have to sit here and go, you know what? I don't want to say it's a write-off year, but look at the wins and losses so far. Whether he plays well or not, they're not winning. They won 1 game against another team that only has 1 win. So do you just ride it out with Trey and tell the fan base to be even more patient again And maybe in this situation you can, because all of last year, the whole fan base that was at the game was chanting, "We want Trey." Well, you've got him now. There's been some good. There's been some bad, but you can't win games. Like I know there's more going on in Calgary with their turnaround than just the quarterback position, but Calgary sucked last year too. They went on and got Vernon Adams Jr. They're in first place right now. So I don't know where I come out on it. Do you just mail it in and see if Trey can be your guy moving forward? Or do you try to salvage the season and hope that Cody's got a little bit of game left? 780-218-9999. We'll continue with this conversation. AJ Jakubic's coming up. It's just Trev and I today, but we're up against it. We've been talking too much. We got to get into our good, bad, and ugly.
Awesome.
For the 780 from the weekend. Let's get into it. Trev, what's your good, my man?
Yeah, I kind of already touched on it a little bit there, but my good, just in general, I'll kind of condense it. It's Glue Guy. I'm so happy I met Glue Guy. He is just awesome. He is.
By the way, the post-game show with Maddie and Glue Guy, it's the best in the city. It's not even close. Now, there's only two.
It is not even close. Like, listening to them, like, they've made me fans. Like, I love, like, the passion. You can just hear it on both Maddie and Glue Guy's voices. But, like I said at the beginning, I had a sleepover at Glue Guy's, and him just, he's just awesome. And then I got to see his what do you call it, his man cave.
Yeah.
Dusty, if you ever have the time, I asked because I was like, man, has Dusty been here? He'd love this. He's like, no, he hasn't made it over yet. But if you ever find the time, I know you're extremely busy. His man cave is sick. All the sports memorabilia he has. He's got signed Bobby Orr, like the goal. He's got it signed by Glenn Hall and Bobby Orr.
Nice. That's a good piece.
Which is just unreal. So a lot of football merchandise. I mean, it was just so cool. But it was just, how good was it? The fire, the food, the party, the people. But just Glue Guy. I'm so happy I met Glue Guy. He's one of a kind. He truly is. He's a one of one.
He's a good dude, man.
He is.
Yeah,
so yeah,
he is.
that's my good from the weekend. Glue Guy.
My good from the weekend is that Marshall is going to have his mind blown this morning, because last night when we got home from the game, after the kids were in bed, I hopped on the Xbox. We've downloaded College Football 26, and Marshall just sits there and plays with Ohio State over and he was So Marshall yesterday, I'm watching him play. He's Ohio State. He's beating UTEP 90-0 in the third quarter. I'm like, buddy, you got to play better teams or move your level up. He goes, I like doing this. Like, he's just crushing teams. Anyway, Nielson Show on Twitter has created all of the CFL teams and their rosters and uploaded them. So I went home last night, downloaded them. So when Marshall gets up today, he will be able to play with Zach Collaros and his Bombers against the other teams in the Canadian Football League.
Oh.
And I dabbled in a bit myself last night. It was late, but I was like, I got to try this. And I have to say, I mean, we want the CFL to get a video game, but this is pretty good. So if you are a CFL football fan and you just want to play with your team, get the college football game, and then you go into like the download center and just go search Edmonton. There was like 9 different Edmonton rosters on there.
Oh, that's
and
sick.
you can just, it's kind of neat. We've never done before, but like Marsh and I will get to play CFL team versus CFL team later today.
Cool.
Obviously not CFL rules or the amount of players, which I think there's got to be a way you can put a skin in a game where it just like spans the field and
you should be able to customize that.
So hopefully you can get there one day. But yeah, it's going to be cool. He's very excited.
It might not have the logos, but could you customize like the uniforms and all that, make it pretty?
But the rosters look exactly the same, and the logos.
But even like on the field, they got the logos and everything.
Yeah,
it's that accurate.
Oh, it's insane.
Damn, that's really impressive.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's very impressive.
That is good. That's really good.
Yes.
Marshall's going to be so happy.
He's going to be very excited.
How does he know? Like, are you?
I told him yesterday that we were going to do it. So,
cool.
But he wanted me to do it before the game, but I was like too busy getting prepped because it was short notice.
Yeah.
So, it was. He's excited. All right, what's your bad from the weekend?
Yeah, not going to spend too much on this, but my bad. Yeah, I kind of touched on it as well. So fun the Saturday night, but what followed was a soccer game against a really, really good team. The next day, I was extremely hungover for this. It was a bad game. It was just all in all terrible. I took the ball in the balls to make it worse, if I'm going to be honest, which wasn't fun. And it was not a good look. We kind of we looked like the Elks out there, and we were playing against the Lions. It was just embarrassing. It was bad, man. It was not fun. And I was sweating like crazy. Oh, geez. It was not good. So that's my bad.
My bad from the weekend. Heading into the MLB All-Star break, Paul Skeens, who's a stud for the Pirates, 20 games this year. He started 20 games so far. He's got 131 strikeouts. He has an ERA of 2.01. How many wins do you think he has? 20 games.
In 20 games?
And an ERA of just 2.01, best in the league.
Oh, is it going to be something where it's either really impressive or really bad? So, you know what? I'm going to go with 18.
4.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was going to say, 2. It's either going to be...
Skeens has 4 wins in 20 starts with an ERA of 2.01. The Pirates' ability to score runs, his run support is like non-existent. This dude might win the Cy Young with like 7 wins by the end of the year.
Damn.
My God, like... I don't think you see it very often in baseball, but request a trade, dude.
Yeah.
Get somewhere else immediately. These guys are not helping you.
That's tough.
Yeah. All right, what's your ugly from the weekend?
And I mean, it sounds like a broken record here, but the Elks, that was tough. That was embarrassing. I think Glue Guy said it best. Matty queued him up. What do you got to say? He's like 3 words. I forget the first, but he was like embarrassing.
Yeah, he has 3.
Dumb.
And a joke.
And what a joke.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so it's tough. I'm starting to become, pretty big and involved into the CFL, which is pretty sweet. And I love being able to have some conversations, but definitely a hockey guy. And I think you can, there's some comparables from hockey to, football. And one thing that I think just drives me crazy most in hockey is the compete level. And I think that's kind of what was being talked about the most for yesterday for Glue Guy. He's just like, at the end of the day, like it just looked like no one really gave a damn. It didn't. And I go for like the comparable is you got Evan Bouchard for the Oilers. Like when he doesn't give a damn, there's a reason why people just can't stand him. It's because he's not intense. He's so not an intense player. And then just yesterday, everyone for the Elks, like no one was intense. No one wanted it. And it was, as Killam said, every phase of the game, they just got bullied and dummied. It was tough. So that's why, at least if you're going to lose, like make it look like you want to win. And they didn't. Like it looked like they could care less in yesterday's game. So I guess that was what I would go with. Just a tough loss.
My ugly was the whole smoke game in Regina on Friday night.
That's good.
It just, CFL probably should have canceled that game sooner. I know they were trying to hang on and get to it. They probably should have canceled it a little bit sooner. But I also saw people online, some of the reaction online. Online sucks. I saw one guy online say, "Thanks for stealing my money." And I said, "What do you say? They're supposed to control the smoke? What do you mean stealing your money? You take the ticket and go to the next game." Yeah. They're doing a great job on like people who had a ticket but couldn't come back on Saturday will be able to come to another game and stuff. So yeah, that whole situation was ugly start to finish. All right. It looks like Jeff Merrick is saying that the Edmonton Oilers have hired an assistant coach, Paul McFarland. I haven't seen anywhere else, but Merrick is on it. He's been an assistant coach in Florida. He was with Babcock as an assistant in Toronto for a bit. He was with Seattle for, I think, 3 years, working with Dave Hackstall. Outside of that, don't know much about him, but something to keep tabs on. This morning, head coach in Kingston for, I think, 3 years, about 8-9 years ago, and then has been around the NHL as an assistant, and apparently will be added to Chris Knobloch's staff. Paul McFarland, the name there. All right, Conch for all you here in the 6 o'clock hour. We're going to get to a sports update for Expedia Cruises. Chelsea over at Expedia Cruises, she had a good time at the golf tournament last week. She's going to be a hoot to go to Mexico with. I think there's like 5 spots left in this trip. So if you've been thinking about it, it's time to get on it. It's less than $2,500. It's 5 stars. Planet Hollywood, Cancun. For less than $2,500, you're getting the flight direct there and down, your transfer, a checked bag, and of course, all of your food, booze, and good times with Eric and I. And give Chelsea a call at 780-970-4834. Trevor will have more on that with the updates. And AJ Jakubec, tough loss again for the Redblacks. I want AJ's thoughts on Trey Ford as well. We're going to get into that coming up here after the update. Play Alberta Early Bird Bet of the Day. Off season. What off season? And that's a good. All coming up in hour number 2. Let's get to the update with YouTube Trev.
The Edmonton Elks couldn't keep up with the BC Lions, falling 31-14 at Commonwealth Stadium last night. Lions QB Nathan Rourke threw for 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also rushed for 54 yards, while Elks QB Trey Ford struggled, throwing just 4 completions in 12 pass attempts. The Toronto Blue Jays dropped their second straight game last night, falling 6-3 to the Athletics, now sitting at 55-41 on the season. Still good enough for first place in the AL East, with a 2-game cushion over the New York Yankees. The Jays aren't back in action until Friday when they take on the Giants. Closer to home, the Edmonton Riverhawks come away with a victory last night at Civic Field. 9-5 is the score over the Port Angeles Lefties. It is All-Star Week, so the Riverhawks aren't back in action until Friday when they take on the Kamloops Northpaws in Edmonton at 7. Yannick Sinner made history as the first Italian man to win Wimbledon, defeating 2-time defending champion Carlos Alcaraz in a 4-set final. This marks his 4th Grand Slam title and first on grass. And in the NHL, the Vancouver Canucks trade Artur Shilovs to the Pittsburgh Penguins. In return, the Canucks acquired forward Chase Stillman and a 4th-round pick in the 2027 NHL Draft. Whether you're dreaming of crystal clear waters or exotic destinations, contact Chelsea LaBelle at Expedia Cruises in Northeast Edmonton to start planning your next cruise or vacation destination. Call 780-970-4834. I'm YouTube Trev. You're up to date.
The nasty bash was awesome, so let's remember it with this song. The EST on Corey B, tattoo is still looking strong. 6:30 wasn't working, so old Smash said so long. AM Nasty C and Frazier yelling, turn your headlights on. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tommy met a new girl heading out the door. No homology stripping, his shirt just hit the floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone poured me birdie booze on a shot ski. Now you know Reed Wilkins was a mystery. Extra J's pants got a little pissy. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. Everybody at the bash was a nasty. 6 o'clockers right and left, let me pour it on your head. Moment we won't soon forget. Hey Norm, Fergie's backflips let us in. Made the last table again, rode it out till 2 a.m. Oh Lord. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tommy met a new girl heading out the door. No homology stripping, his shirt just hit the floor. Oh my, good lord. Someone poured me birdie booze on a shot ski. Now you know Reed Wilkins was a mystery. Extra J's pants got a little pissy. Everybody at the bash was a nasty.
7:07 on a Monday morning. Thank you very much for being here today. Dusty with you, Lieutenant Eric on vacation this week. I got YouTube Trev riding shotgun as well. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox. One of your text messages will win text of the day for A and a W. So keep those text messages firing in today, and we'll get to a few more of those. Obviously, lots to discuss with this football team. Edmonton yesterday, not even close, not even in the same class as the BC Lions. yesterday. And we'll dive into your Play Alberta early bird bet of the day as well. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk is presented to you by our great partners over at Play Alberta, where if a lot of Edmonton was on the Elks yesterday, Play Alberta probably did pretty well. Probably did pretty well in that one. Off-season around 7:30. The Canucks trade Shelovs to the Penguins yesterday, and apparently the Edmonton Oilers, according to Jeff Merrick, adding to their coaching staff today as Chris Knobloch gets to construct a bit of a staff. Paul McFarland named assistant coach of the, or he will be named assistant coach of the Edmonton Oilers. He was in Kingston for a little bit, and he's been around the NHL as an assistant for the last few years. All right, let's catch up. I saw AJ last week. It was nice to see this man. Voice of the Redblacks joins us. AJ, how you doing, buddy?
Outstanding. Great to be with you, Dusty. I don't know who's more concerned about that Elks loss yesterday, Edmonton fans or Ottawa fans, after knowing that they couldn't beat the Elks last week. So that's not ideal.
I was going to bring that up. I said this morning when I was ranting in the first hour of the show, is Ottawa just that bad? I don't think they are. They were in a pretty good spot against Hamilton and actually kept a pretty offensive Ticats team somewhat under check this past week. So I don't think that's... Let's just start there, and then we'll get your thoughts on what you saw from Trey Ford last week. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I think Ottawa's better than their record. Are they not?
What did Bill Parcells say? You are what your record says you are.
Yeah.
So... honestly, Ottawa's a 1-5 football team right now. They might end up being better than that. I thought they were going to be better than this year. Coming off a 9-8-1 season, I looked at what they did in the offseason and adding Gino Lewis and William Stanback and making necessary changes in the secondary. And I thought, well, okay, looks like this team, they added a new defensive coordinator in Will Fields coming over from Toronto. Everything that they needed to do or needed to address was addressed, and suffered some injuries to start the season, like a catastrophic amount. They had 12 Canadians down by week 2, plus their starting quarterback. But the last couple of weeks, and you could maybe attribute the 1-3 start a little bit to that, but especially with Drew Brown being down, because there's a big drop-off between the starting quarterback in Ottawa and 2, 3, and 4, but Drew Brown's 0-3 right now. And none of those games have been at home. They'll play the next 2 at home, and it's must-win time. Like, it's must-win at 1-5. Everyone else, the 6 playoff teams right now are all over 500. So when you're 4 games under, you got to stop it, and you got to start stacking wins. So it's definitely concerning. There's a lot of chatter here. And when I say chatter here, from the fan base about making changes already, firing coaches. So that's never ideal. It usually doesn't work out middle of a football season. Usually those things you have to make in the off season, but this team has to get better, and they just keep beating themselves, whether it's untimely penalties or turnovers, mistakes, whatever it might be. That's a game against Hamilton you should win 99 times out of 100, and they found a way to make it the 1 out of 100 that they lost.
It's funny you mentioned the coaching and some of the conversation on fans in Ottawa, because here, they just changed all the coaches. We have sort of a quarterback conversation to have here, and we'll get your thoughts on that in a second. That's not the case in Ottawa. Like, Drew Brown's their guy moving forward. What have you thought of him? He missed a lot of time already, but do they have that taken care of, I guess? Like, I think the quarterback position is so important in this league. You got to have somebody that you can build around. Is he that guy?
I think so, based on what I saw last year, especially when he was healthy. He's just been okay this year, and he needs to be better than just okay. Like, to me, the big problem, and I'd have to do the numbers split between the 3 games Drew Brown has started and the 3 games they haven't, but the fact that they're 9th in points per game is troubling, because I thought the question marks were going to be on defense. They augmented this offensive line. Well, it's been banged up. There's no doubt it's been banged up, and that hurt the team the first 4 weeks of the season. But the last couple of weeks, the O-line's been the least of their worries. Hasn't been a concern the last couple of weeks. So and Drew Brown's been back the last couple of weeks. So that's problematic. Then you look at, the receiving core. Geno Lewis should be one of the best in the league. And he's second in receiving yards, but there's been, too many drops, basically one a week. Justin Hardy's been excellent, probably hasn't been targeted enough. Khalil Pimpleton, certainly dangerous on returns, but, this is a guy that was getting almost 100 yards a game last year as a receiver. And, last game it was 4 for 6 yards. So they can't find a way to get him open, or they can't find a way to get him the ball further down the field. Raylan Addison's played well, but he's been hurt the last couple of weeks. Keelan White is probably the best Canadian receiver they've had since Brad Sinopoli. So there's a lot to like offensively, but I think some of the pressure should absolutely be on Tommy Condell to get this group going. They don't run the ball enough, like 38 passes to 10 runs, and you're winning pretty much the whole game against Hamilton. That's not a good ratio for my liking. So they don't run the ball enough. They don't stretch the field enough. They don't have enough big plays. And Edmonton played them perfectly. Drew Brown explained that last week about the shell coverage that they played, and really, what they had to do was kind of take that 12-play drive down the field. But yeah, they've got to figure things out offensively, because defensively was the issue, especially in the secondary late last year. You think of just the way the East Semi went, 58-38. Tough to win football games when you lose by 20 and you score 38. So they replaced the defensive coordinator. They bring in some guys in the secondary, and quite frankly, it started slow, but it's been better every week. They didn't lose that last game in Hamilton because of defense. They lost it because of offense, and a lot of that was turnovers, which hasn't been a problem this year, but penalties has. They're in second and long too often, which again makes them predictable, but they've been too predictable on their own because everyone just expects they're not going to run the ball.
AJ Jakubec, voice of the Redblacks, with us. AJ, it's going to be a bit of a weird question because Trey Ford last week against Ottawa had like a perfect quarterback rate. Now, he didn't throw the ball a ton, but he took care of the ball, had a very efficient game. Yesterday, he was not good. They probably should have pulled him much earlier than they did. So we do have a quarterback discussion here during a bye week in Edmonton, which I guess is fun depending on who you talk to. But when you see Trey in person last week, is this a guy that you think they can build around continuously moving forward?
Well, he's been very good against Ottawa, not just last week, but a couple of years ago as well. So every time we seem to see him,
he looks great to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't see the game yet. I try to
You can skip over this one, AJ. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's a lot of those games I've seen this year,
43 minutes of possession for the BC Lions. That's the second most since they started tracking it. Like, it was tough. It was a
lot of 2-and-outs is what you're telling me.
A ton of 2-and-outs. Trey was 4 of 12. They only ran the ball with Rankin. Like, they couldn't stay on the field. It was tough. So I don't know. Like, I watched Trey, and I said it earlier in the show this morning. There are some things that Trey can do that nobody else can. But then there are things that Trey can't do that everybody else can as a starting quarterback. So it's like, do you just continue to be patient and see if he can build on those other elements of his game that he needs to? But how do you preach patience with this organization right now?
Well, and you can in football, quite frankly. It's not a sport that's like, it's not a rebuild driven sport. It's just not. It's a here and now sport more than any of the other sports. Like, you don't just have the 5-year plan and build through the draft, especially in the CFL. It's a win now league. And so from that perspective, it's a tough one because it's the chicken or the egg. Do you sit there and develop, or are you really going to go through a wasted lost season, potentially hoping that he's going to be the answer and show that he can do other things? I think what Trey Ford might end up being is a really good backup quarterback in this league. And I hate to say that, but is the best like you can legitimately ask this question at Edmonton. Is the best quarterback in Edmonton the starting quarterback in Edmonton? Cody Fajardo, like, it surprised me that Montreal moved on from him. Now, I understand why. They really like Davis Alexander, but, you know, they've won a lot of games in Montreal with Cody Fajardo the last couple of years. And a lot of times it's nothing fancy. It's just moving but that's the difference between maybe what Trey Ford is and even a successful quarterback in the Canadian Football League. Not everyone's going to be Doug Flutie or Warren Moon and is going to light it up. Sometimes you just need that guy who's going to move the sticks. And what I've yet to see from Trey Ford on a consistent basis in the CFL is how does he make that, you know, just kind of like what I talked about with Ottawa a little bit earlier. How does he complete those 12 play drives where it's just, you know, second and short and makes the nice simple play? I know he can make the spectacular play,
yeah,
which is fantastic, but you know, just that simple 6-yard pass after 8-yard pass after screen pass after 12-yard pass, you know, the short and intermediate game. It's not always the most pretty to watch, but it can be the most effective. So from that perspective, is he the guy? Need to see more, and need to see more in a hurry because, yeah, I grew up there.
Yeah, you're here.
Era, like when, like I remember starting to go to games right around 1980, 1981, the tail end of the Grey Cup years, and the Oilers had just arrived. And, you know, like I think about being there in the 80s when the Oilers were one of the best hockey teams that ever graced this planet, and the Edmonton Eskimos were every bit as big as the Edmonton Oilers back in that day in Edmonton. And so now when I come back to Edmonton and see where it's at off the field, and again, this is kind of veering from Trey Ford,
yeah,
but
no, I get it.
It's sad to watch. It really is sad for me to watch. Doesn't mean it's going to be like that forever, but, you know, they do have a lot of work to do. And it's tough because when you're in that spot, you got to think of what's best for the organization long term. But it goes back to my point about rebuilding as a football team. I just don't know if you can really do that in the Canadian Football League. I don't even really think it works in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I think that's a pretty good point, especially in the Canadian Football League, though. Like I was saying earlier on the show this morning, like Calgary's defense has been outstanding so far to start this year, but they also went out and brought in Vernon Adams, and they're in first place in the West right now. And Vernon Adams is a veteran quarterback who's had some success in this league, and they've managed to turn things around. They were awful. I mean, Calgary was not a good football team last year, and now they look like a legitimate contender. So there are ways to turn things around quickly in the Canadian Football League, and the Edmonton Elks have not yet found a way to do it. AJ, good stuff, man. I think I'm out in Ottawa at the end of July, so I will see you again in a couple weeks. All right.
Yeah, I look forward to that, and hopefully, I guess we'll see where this Ottawa football team is at. We'll see. Like to finish on your point about Calgary. One quickly, like it does feel like in the CFL, like I feel like a healthy Montreal is the best team in the CFL, but I just think that every week you should, like, it looks like there's a lot of parity week to week, but Ottawa and Edmonton, as has been the case really, you know, post-pandemic, other than Ottawa last year, they need to figure it out and fast because there's no juggernaut in the league this year. There's certainly no juggernaut in the West for me. Maybe I'm underrating Calgary because Ottawa beat them, but like it's just about doing the little things each and every week to find ways to win. So they shouldn't be just out of it yet.
Good stuff, buddy. We'll chat soon.
Okay, cheers, Dusty.
There you go. He's a beauty. That's AJ Jakubec, voice of the Redblacks, and you know I wanted him on today to talk a little bit about the Trey Ford thing. And AJ was here last week. You know, growing up Edmonton Eskimos fan, he saw some great times here, and he sees where it's at right now, and it's obviously got to be very, very frustrating. All right, man, I'll ask you right now. I mean, who do you start coming off the bye week? it Trey Ford or is it Cody Fajardo? What do you do? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. You do. He's not wrong. I mean, the better quarterback right now is Cody Fajardo. He has been for the last few years. Cody Fajardo is still a starting caliber quarterback. Why are you bringing in a Cody Fajardo if you're just going to let Trey take it the whole year? And what if they win 5 games again? What if they win 5 games? Like, as a fan base, this is really what it comes down to. As a fan base, can you handle being told to be patient still? And is it a different be patient because Hervey's back, because Morris is back, because you see double E branded everywhere, because they're trying to work this, I mean, you say young quarterback, but Trey's been around the league for a few years. He's not 22 years old. Are you okay being patient to find out if he's the guy? That's the question. Are you okay being patient to find out whether or not Trey Ford's the guy? Some of you might already say he's not. Go to Cody. I will say this. If their defense was respectable at all, and they're not. I mean, they're well over 30 points a game against. If their defense was giving them a fighting chance, and maybe it would be different. I was going to say, time of possession last night was brutal. It hasn't been that bad every single game. If their defense looked like a playoff caliber defense right now, I think I'd probably be ready to just say right now, boom, just go to Cody Fajardo, see what you can do, give that defense some help. But their defense has been so atrocious, like, oh, it probably doesn't matter who's at quarterback because they can't, what is it saying? They can't stop a nosebleed. So what are you supposed to do there? 780-218-9999. Do you ride it out with Trey? Maybe the confidence in him gets everything going and they actually start winning some games? Or do you say, you know what? Let's see what Cody Fajardo can do. 780-218-9999. Jay text in, Paris Jewelers inbox. Dusty, the real problem is how much time was wasted by Chris Jones. Yeah. I mean, it's a fair point. But we can go back and look back at the last 10 years and point to 2 or 3 individuals who were responsible for where this is at. Well, we've got a fantasy football league trade going down in the Cavis Reed Fantasy Football League of Adult Things. The commissioner has just slid into my DMs and said, we have a trade to announce in the Kerfloat. Give me the details. Let's go. CFL fantasy trade on July 14th. I love it. Lingus says the CFL still needs to see if Trey is a QB or not. This is his 4th year. I think a ridiculous timeline to see if we know what kind of player he is. Yeah, I mean, this is the first year they sort of fully committed to him. And there's been flashes in the other years where I could see. And then, look, man, every single game I called last year, as soon as things started to go bad for MBT, the entire stadium was chanting, we want Trey. We want Trey. We want Trey. So the Elks signed him. Didn't give him huge starter money, but gave him good enough money that he's a starter. And you've got Trey so far, and it's still a one-win team. Now, I do think BC's record going into that game is a little misleading because they did not have Nathan. They're 3-1 with Nathan Rourke. I think BC with Nathan Rourke can go at it with the Bombers, the Stamps, and the Riders. The rest of the West is actually shaping up to be highly entertaining and very competitive. And that makes it even more difficult for Edmonton to get back in the thick of it. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Let's dive in. And look, this is a slow sports week, but the CFL lines are already posted over at Play Alberta. Gotta love these guys. This is why we're partnering with the fine folks at Play Alberta. If you're not yet downloaded the Play Alberta app, please do. And if you've not yet used our code for this month, please do. EST Sports. You go on to Play Alberta, you log in, you deposit $20. When it says, do you have a code? You put in the code EST Sports, and you'll get $50. $50 free bet sitting there for you just waiting for you. EST Casino, $20, $50 of casino credit. All right, so I was planning on guessing these lines this morning because I didn't think they'd already be up, but they are. Here's week 7 in the Canadian Football League. The Argos on the road in Montreal, 5.5-point dogs on the road. I think Chad Kelly is supposed to be back this week. I have not looked at it yet. I'm actually doing that game in Montreal on Thursday. I hope he's back. That would be a great game. Alouettes right now, though, 5-point favorites at home. The Bombers, coming off a bye week, -5 at home against the 4-1 Calgary Stampeders, who just spanked Winnipeg 2 weeks ago in the Stampede Bowl. Stampeders are 5-point dogs on the road. I think it's a little surprising. I thought the Bombers would probably be about 3-point home favorites. So if you like to get on lines early in the week, Calgary +5 might not be bad. The Riders are 1.5-point dogs going to BC. And then the Ticats, who just played the Redblacks, they're going to go at it again. And the Ticats are 1.5-point favorites on the road. Here's what I'm going to do for the early bird bet of the day. Let's get on some of these lines, some of these plays before they move early in the week. I think BC is going to upset the Riders this week, if you want to call it an upset. And I'm doing that game as well. So I'm in Montreal Thursday and then Vancouver on Saturday. Excited for both of those games, 2 good rivalry games. But I think BC, I think there could be, like BC is a dog right now. I think by the time we get to kickoff, that line might actually move towards BC. So let's get on BC money line right now at +100. And then I don't think Calgary, like Winnipeg off of a bye at home. I don't love the 5. I think it should be a lighter line, but I do think Winnipeg will bounce back against the Stampeders. So Lions, Bombers, parlay. It's +190. I'm going to send that over to our team at Play Alberta. They'll give us a boost. We'll get it up shortly. And that's kind of the early bird bet of the week as we try to get ahead of any sort of possible movement in these games. So that should be up here shortly. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Trev, changing 100. Classic summer show here.
Changing 100.
There we go. The Oilers hired an assistant coach, maybe, according to Jeff Merrick. We'll dive into that a little bit. I don't even know who's on the Oil Stream with me today. Am I running solo on Oil Stream too? Somebody's got to be on Oil Stream today, I think.
Yeah, someone's got to be joining you.
Maddie's probably got somebody scheduled to join me.
I think so.
If not, I'll just read 300 of the possible 4,300 line combinations that the Oilers can have. People be like, "Ooh,
this is intriguing."
I really like line combination 87. I think they'd probably go with that one. All right, we're gonna get that early bird bet up right away. It'll be the Bombers and the Lions money line parlay. It'll be boosted a little bit better than the +190 that you can get it at with our partners over at Play Alberta right now. Machine Man says, I'm going to bounce out. I've had enough of the CFL BS. Machine Man, we'll talk to you later, buddy. On the way next, Machine Man's going to hate this. Off-season? What off-season? Sheloff's traded. Why weren't the Oilers in on it? We're going to get to that coming up. We've got a sports update right away, though, for the great staff over at Park Mazda with my man, YouTube Trev.
This just in, according to Jeff Merrick, Paul McFarland will be named the assistant coach of the Edmonton Oilers after being the bench boss of the Calgary Hitmen for just 1 year. The Edmonton Elks couldn't keep up with the BC Lions, falling 31-14 at Commonwealth Stadium last night. Lions QB Nathan Rourke threw for 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also rushed for 54 yards, while Elks QB Trey Ford struggled, throwing just 4 completions in 12 pass attempts. The Toronto Blue Jays dropped their second straight game last night, falling 6-3 to the Athletics, now sitting at 55-41 on the season. Still good enough for first place in the AL East with a 2-game cushion over the New York Yankees. The Jays aren't back in action until Friday when they take on the Giants. Closer to home, the Edmonton Riverhawks come away with the victory last night at Civic Field. 9-5 is the score over the Port Angeles Lefties. It is All-Star Week, so the Riverhawks aren't back in action until Friday when they take on the Kamloops Northpaws in Edmonton at 7. And Yannick Sinner made history as the first Italian man to win Wimbledon, defeating two-time defending champion Carlos Alcaraz in a 4-set final. This marks his 4th Grand Slam title and first on grass. And in the NHL, the Vancouver Canucks trade Artur Shilovs to the Pittsburgh Penguins. In return, the Canucks acquired forward Chase Stillman and a 4th-round pick in the 2027 NHL Draft. This sports update brought to you by the fine folks at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, your dealer for life.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a figure skater. He wears like a white outfit and he does interpretive ice dances to my life's journey.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Tati and Eric and all of the bad cats like Roshinsky and Noodles. Captain can gauge it. Maybe it's for a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hot takes and we wanna hear Renee. Why not hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away? Beat left the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macromella, Rapaport, Drager, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All about him being a person, does he go for? What say you? AM Nasty Crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
All right, 7:36 as we kick off another day right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We've got the Hangout coming up. Hangout will be live from 9 till 11. Hustler returns to the Lock Shop today. We'll have the Lock Shop from 11 until noon. The Oil Stream from 12 until 1. EST afternoons from 1 until 3. And the Reed Wilkins Show kicks off Referee Week from 3 until 6 today, all on Edmonton Sports Talk, which is presented to you by our great partners over at Play Alberta. Download the app today and make sure you use your game sense when you're playing with Play Alberta. We are, 3.5 weeks away from Nasty Bash 3.0. That should be exciting. Very much looking forward to that. The Esties are about 2 months away. And then before you know it, the Oilers will be back on the ice. And who knows, maybe the Elks have turned it around by then. Actually, I got to text somebody over there to make sure we get Mark Cordy's number. He's going to join us around 8:30 today. Get his thoughts on team going into a bye week, coming off a pretty disappointing loss. How do you turn it around? I don't think you can preach. It's tough to preach patience, especially when your neighbors to the south have turned their fortunes around so quickly. That's good coming up, but let's dive into it. Off season, what off season? You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We do like to mix in a little Oilers talk every single day on the show, give you a segment here or there. We're going to come back around. That's good for the Italian Center. We're going to come back around to the Elks quarterback conversation because we have a bunch of text messages on that one as well, and some people are torn. Some people are saying you go to Cody. Others are saying you go to Trey. I mean, from a sports talk perspective, that's good quarterback controversy, but you don't want to see that for the team, right? You want to see them get back on track. In the NHL, from an Oilers perspective, Jeff Merrick is reporting that Paul McFarland is expected to be added to Chris Knobloch's staff. He's coached in Oshawa, Florida, Toronto, Kingston, and Seattle. He's also much like Chris Knobloch, played hockey at the U Sport level. So I don't know if that's where they first crossed paths or not. I don't think so. I think Knobloch was a little bit ahead of him, but we'll see once they make it official. Merrick is saying that'll be a thing. McFarland did work for Hackstall. We talked about it a little bit over the last few weeks that maybe Hackstall would be somebody that Knobloch would be looking at, but they end up bringing in this McFarland. So we'll see what role he has. That's not where I wanted to go for offseason, but just thought we'd mention it again. So the Canucks, remember there's that little, they haven't signed Demko yet. What are they going to do? Oh, now they got 3 goalies. Can the Oilers take advantage of this? The answer was no. Shelovs gets traded yesterday. Nice pickup for the Penguins if you believe in Shelovs. They gave up a 4th and an American League guy. And that's pretty reasonable price to pick up a goalie, which will have people say, whether it's Shelovs or not, you can give up a 4th and somebody in the American League to give yourself a different look between the pipes. And there's many people who just say, whether it's Shelovs or somebody else, you just need something different. So that crowd probably not excited to see Shelovs move for such a reasonable price. It's also from a Vancouver perspective, it's a guy that one of those goaltenders had to clear waivers. They weren't going to carry 3 guys. So there's that. Trev, your thoughts on the price tag on Shelovs there, and bring yourself on there, Trev. Let's go 2-shot here for a bit.
Yeah, that's honestly kudos to Pittsburgh for being able to acquire him with just that. I don't know. I thought that you're going to be a little bit higher.
I thought it would be a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, kudos to them. Obviously the Penguins, it's one of those trades where you look around and where would Shelovs go if he gets traded? And then when it happens, you're just like, makes sense. They've had some goalie issues with Jari for the last few seasons. And by all accounts, we got a front row seat of it 2 years ago in the playoffs. It was, I remember Canucks fans, I was doing pre and post, and they're like, Oilers fans don't know what's coming. We have the answer. And we were bringing up Quinn Hughes. We were bringing up JT Miller, Petey, Brock Besser, Connor Garland, and a lot of people are like, they haven't even brought up the secret weapon, Shelovs. And yeah, he was awesome. He stood on his head. He kept him in it for that whole series. He was awesome. And then what he was able to do in the minors this year was really cool, capping it off with the championship there. So I definitely think he's going to be an NHLer, and he's going to get a good look at it this season for sure with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So it's going to be good. But for what Pittsburgh was able to give up, you got to give that a grade. You got to grade it at an A. That's awesome. I think any GM, if they were in the position of the Pittsburgh Penguins, they'd be like, oh yeah, we take this. Every single GM. It fits for them. They need a change in the crease. And, and for the Vancouver Canucks side of things, at least they were able to get something back, right? So not bad.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Rob from the Grove text says, morning, Dusty YTT, watching you guys on the TV instead of a computer screen as I continue to recover from surgery. Have a great day, Rob from the Grove. Rob from the Grove, kind of neat seeing us on the old television. That is a thing you can do with YouTube. You can watch us on your TV or your tablet.
Yeah.
So the Edmonton Oilers, they do not renew the contract of goaltending coach Dustin Schwartz. We did say a month ago that if they were going to run it back between the pipes, which from an affordability standpoint, it certainly looks like they're going to do, And the fact that, a number of the goaltenders that we've talked about prior to the offseason have been moved, and the Oilers, it's not even like you've seen reports of, the Oilers were in on Shelovs or the Oilers were in on this guy, and it's just seems like they're going to be content with running it back with Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard, unless something else changes in the next couple of months, and there would still be time. We'll see who they add as a voice between the pipes. But Trev, do you think they're not changing the goaltending? This is the question I have for all of you. So if you're over on YouTube, smash the thumbs up for us. Sub to the channel. We're very close to 13.1 thousand on the subs. I think we're like 8 away or something like that. So sub to the channel if you haven't already. Hammer the thumbs up for us. We'd appreciate that. It helps grow the channel. And if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, fire us a text and tell your friends about EST. Trev, do you think they're not changing the goaltending because they don't want to, or because they simply can't find a better option?
Yeah, that's tough. That's a good question. I think they want to. I think they also know what's out there. And
it was bleak going into the offseason.
It was tough. Like, as far as years have gone, like this for goaltending, was it 2 years ago? Like, there was a crazy huge goalie summer, and it's always just, it seems like there's that one summer where it's just goalies. That's all there are. And then, there's a few seasons pass, and then you don't get any goalies. But this year is the talent's thin. Like, I don't blame them for going out or for not going out and try to acquire someone, especially for the fact that there's no one out there that I'd be pumped for the Oilers acquiring. Like, every goalie that was on the market, whether it was free agents or if they were trying to acquire them through trade, it just, to me, I had every goalie labeled with a huge question mark above their head. Like, they're not proven, they have yet to really do anything, or they're very expensive and they're injured. Like, that was it. Every single one. As far as free agents goes, we looked through the list. It's like all these guys, like, they're not going to be any better really than what the Oilers have. So don't go out and get those goalies. And then you've got the Demkos of the world, the Gibsons of the world. Yeah, like the Demko I might have had time for, but look what they just signed him. The Canucks, like, the Oilers aren't going to make that work. There's no way. You can't.
It's impossible for them to afford something.
And so I don't fault them. I'm actually happy that, they're trusting their guns with Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. Because at least you can, there's that little maybe glimmer of hope. And I feel like they do still have, trust in these two going forward. And now if it is, a Schwartz problem, I don't really think it is, but
you had to try something different.
You have to try. And so at least they're moving away from that option. And if they go into this season, if goaltending is similar to last year, well, then maybe you start to look, okay, you know what? We've done everything we can. So that's my thoughts there. But as far as making a move, like, I mean, it would be the same thing, man.
There's no move to make.
No, It would be the same thing. And unless you're getting the guy, there's not the guy out there where it just green arrows and it makes complete sense. It doesn't. There wasn't that guy. And I'm okay with waiting until they get that guy, but he's not out there right now, unfortunately.
Especially when you've got a winner, Stuart Skinner.
Get on your feet, he can't be beat. He's a winner, Stuart Skinner. Oh, what a treat. Get out your seat. The haters went silent, they've got nothing to say. Real fans are on their feet applauding his play. He's locking it down between the pipes. He's just shutting the door every night. Other teams, they don't know what to do, so say it with me, his name is Stu. He's a winner, Stuart Skinner. He's a winner, Stuart Skinner. Other teams, they don't know what to do, so say it with me, his name is Stu. He's a winner, Stuart Skinner. Who's a winner?
glad we have that AI banger.
That's good.
Moving forward here.
I like that.
I mean, that's big. Now
you didn't play. Now that I think of it, you didn't even play off season with off season. So.
Oh man, you're right. I didn't. Jeez Louise.
I mean, it's a little.
That's
late now.
no, it's not. We can do whatever we want today.
You don't need a reason to keep people pleasing. Treason, reason, keys and sneezing. It's off season. What off season? 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 It's off season. What off season?
Yeah, that slaps, man. That bass.
Dude, I'm telling you.
That bass is
I'm
terrific.
telling you, that might be my favorite song.
I honestly think a professional artist could take that beat and put together a real hit.
Yes. We're talking to you, Coob. That's you.
I wasn't, but that's nice of you. Corey at work over in the chat on YouTube, where if you're watching, hammer the thumbs up for us. You mean we might have the same goalies that helped us get to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals? This is a bad thing?
Yeah.
Rob from the Grove says, I'm okay with them not making a move.
That's
just to make a move. And Lingus says, back to Corey, I agree the goalies never prevented a Stanley Cup win. They have been there twice. The players need to step up in the finals. I mean, it's all true. However,
I agree with
with the switching at the goaltending coach position, I think it's completely justified because, and I try to have a fair approach on Stuart Skinner, which is why I come across as a super homer and a defender of him, because other guys I think unjustifiably rip on him all the time. Now, some of it's justified. I think sometimes they take it too far in the whole he's not even an NHL goalie thing. I will say this, though, and this is a question I would have, and this is why I think you had to move on and get a different voice in there. Has Stuart Skinner gotten better over the last 3 years? Or is he just the same dude? And I would argue he's probably just the same guy. Like, I haven't seen him start moving better left to right. There's you can see what the deficiencies are in his game, and they haven't gotten any better.
Yeah.
So
that's well said. That's actually very well put.
That is, get a different coach, get a different goalie coach in there and see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an unfair statement on Skinner.
Yeah,
he's not gotten better. I still think they can win with him. I will say I'm doubting it a little bit more than I was this time last year.
Yeah.
But he hasn't gotten any better.
Yeah.
And I think that has something to do with the coach. It should. I mean, what else is a coach supposed to do?
And I think maybe that's what, obviously the management they're holding on to. They're probably having the same discussions. Look, he hasn't gotten better. Doesn't mean he's also I wouldn't say he also necessarily hasn't gotten worse, but there's that natural progression. You should be getting better. You should be, right? So, and I really think they're holding on to that. And I mean, obviously you want that. Every goalie does get better. And I keep going back to it. I'm definitely not the biggest Skinner supporter out there. I'm pretty critical of his game, but you gotta this was supposed to be his Calder. This is rookie year.
This was supposed to be.
This was supposed to be it, and that's why you got to be so careful going forward, because Jack Campbell, they thought was the guy. They thought that was the guy, and that's why it's such a sketchy position to commit long term, because really, unless you're the Vasilevskis, the Shesterkins of the world, the Connor Hellebucks, it's a gamble. It can be a gamble. And so, here's hoping that he comes through with a good season. And oh man, it would be awesome. I'm rooting for him. I'm a big. Well, I want him to do good, I should say.
Did you almost say you're a big Stuart Skinner guy?
Yeah,
I don't think you are, but
I'm not really. But I want to be. I want to be so bad, man. He does everything right. He's got a good work ethic. He's just
nice guy.
But it's just, like you said, man, he hasn't gotten.
Yeah, I don't think he's gotten better. I still think there's potential there for him to be a pretty damn good goalie if they can improve. If they can improve in a couple of areas of weakness that he hasn't on yet. Shout out Shaggy in St. Albert. I appreciate his commitment. Says, I guess they have to fail again this year to prove that Skinner is not the answer. Another lost year. Who has a longer leash in this city right now? Trey Ford, or Stuart Skinner?
That's what I'm saying. There's comparables, man. There are.
I mean, yeah.
There's like situational comparables, you know?
780-218-9999. Ryan from SK says they need a goaltending department. Lots of teams in the league have it. Not like they need to save money in hockey ops. Money is no object. It certainly shouldn't be, should it? Brandon from Windsor says if the Oilers start the season with $2 million in cap space, it is doable by sending a couple of people down, like Brown and the European guy, etc. They can accrue $8 million in cap space by the deadline. Sorokin, anyone? I'm half waiting for a teeth to pop in and compare Stuart Skinner to the Easter Bunny after his Elks comparison to Santa's elves earlier this morning. Deaky Sparks is in and says, I know why they haven't done anything. I understand it's a hot topic, but they also say innocent until proven guilty. The Canada trial is coming up before the end of the month, and at that moment, Carter Harter's a UFA. He's the biggest fish goalie, but the question is, will he be in a pond to fish? I don't think that's a path they're going down.
Apparently that got debunked.
Yeah, I don't think that's I don't think we have to worry about that one. Colin the Amishman says, completely agree with YTT. Nothing really moves the needle past what they already have. They can go into the season and see if the new goaltender coach helps things, and who knows if there's something different in off-season training. They keep their powder dry for the deadline. All right, 780-218-9999. That is where you can get in. We'll continue with that conversation as well. We've got 3 questions too many coming up here. In hour number 3, Mark Cordy, we are going to chat with the one of the offensive linemen, local guy too. He's a good dude. Like to see this team have success, basically just for Mark Cordy. But anyway, he's going to join us around 8:30 today. Trev, I'll send you that phone number. 3 questions too many is on the way as well, where somebody's going to play kind of easy trivia. But let's get into that's good for the Italian Center, where you got to get your hands on the ultimate road trip snack in the summer, and that is the very tasty panino. Can't go wrong with these things. If you haven't had one yet, I mean, if you have had one, you've had more than one. I guarantee it. Nobody has one panino and goes, that's it. I'm done. I don't need another one of those. You have one, and then you have several of them, and you keep them in the fridge, and one of your youngest guys on staff is like, can I eat these? I'm starving. And then he gets them.
Yes.
So Zacticum is always there for the extra goodies. That's good for the Italian Center. Once again, great family business, family owned. Want to support local. The Italian Center, there's no better place to do it.
Elks tailgate yesterday was that's good.
Oh, it must have been.
Got to give a shout out to I believe is Nubs. I think that's what his jersey said. But he's like, call me Nubs.
What a name!
I gave him a shout out, and he's like, ever since, man, I've been listening to every show. Like, thank you so much, man. This is awesome.
Nubs?
Yeah. So shout out Nubs. And he, you know what he said? Trev, what can I get you? I'm like, I'm pretty good on the alcohol today. He's like, well, I got some food. I've got an Italian Center, spicy Italian sausage. I'll bring it up to you. He's like, it's from the Italian Center. I'm like, oh gosh, yeah. So it's a match made in heaven. I'll ketchup and onions. I said. He brought it over, and it was damn good. So yeah, I just had to throw that in there, and it happened.
It works out nicely.
It happened to be from the Italian Center. So yeah, that was my.
Wow, that is good.
Yeah,
tailgate looked good.
It was awesome.
I was there, so doing a game. Usually, I like to be at the game about 2 hours before, but I was bringing my family this time, and I was like, probably cut it a little bit closer, so I'll be there about 90 minutes before the game. And then getting a family out of the house on time just never happens. I don't know if any other parents can figure this out, but I was like, hey, we'll leave at 3:00. It's 3:10. We're not out the door yet. I was like, let's go. So by the time I got to the game, I had to go straight to the truck and then to the booth. So I did not get to check out the tailgate yesterday.
I was looking
because once I get into the tailgate, there's a bunch of people. I'm talking. I'm saying hi. Lots of discussions. I'm having a great pop from Haraxi. So it was. I had to avoid the tailgate yesterday. But Marshall and the Muzz went. They had a good time. Jasmine, she bumped into my family yesterday, says, despite the Elks loss yesterday, the prehistoric day event at Commonwealth was awesome for families. Had a great time pregame. Yeah, the pregame's great. The cheerleaders were wearing those hilarious T-Rex blow-up things again for one dance. It looked kind of funny. And then they did the baby crawl race in the end zone at halftime, where babies were in cute little dinosaur get-ups.
That was a big catch.
And then they tried to... they raced to the other, but they didn't move well because, they're little hilarious babies. But apparently one of them stood up and took their first steps. Or those parents cheated.
Beautiful.
And they knew their baby could walk. and it was supposed to just be babies who crawled, and one baby got up and walked. I think we should probably piss test that baby.
Yeah, we should.
Hey, like, that doesn't seem very fair.
The league needs to look at this.
Can we? Everybody's talking about smoke delay. Can we talk about Babygate at Commonwealth last night?
What the hell is going on?
I was half expecting Awanic to come down and cheat to win the race. Oh
crap!
Oh, sorry, Maddie. Had to be said. Here's where I'm going for. That's good today. We have a trade to announce in the Cavis Reed Fantasy Football League of Adult Things. This is why the CFL needs season-long fantasy and this week-to-week stuff. You're not working a waiver wire. You're not making trades with your buddies. But in the Kerfloat, we're making deals. How about this one? The Stallions are sending Nick Dembski. Whoa! When we have a national spot, like we got a spot for a Canadian, these Canadian guys carry significant value. Nick, man. I'm 5-1. I should have got in on this. I'm going to have to go start moving some picks. Anyway, Nick Dembski and a 5th rounder being traded for Keon Hatcher and a 1st rounder.
Damn.
Keon Hatcher is a guy who torched the Elks last night. This shows the value of Nick Dembski. Keon Hatcher moves along with a 1st for Dembski and a 5th. Only in Canadian fantasy football can that trade happen. And that's good.
Let's go.
That's a big one. That's a big deal.
That's us, the Stallions.
So the Stallions are 1-5.
So they needed to.
They trade. So they pick up a 1st and Keon Hatcher and move Nick Dembski, who's startable in a Canadian spot. Or the best part about it is you can flex him in because he can go Canadian spot or one of your wide receiver spots.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that right there, that's a pretty big deal.
That is that's good trade right there.
Don't you love fantasy trades?
Yes.
This is so good. That's one trade for us, none in the Dunya. And they've got a guy in Scott McCord who doesn't even really pay attention to the league.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's a 3-man.
It's a 3-man league.
It is.
They're playing in a 3-man league. We're out here changing the game with a 6-man league.
Yes.
God, I guarantee the commissioner of the Canadian Football League isn't emailing me going, hey, any details on that other 3-man league?
Yeah, what's the detail on that?
No, he's going to text me and go, who the hell is Scott McCord and why is he ruining Canadian fantasy football? That's what he's going to say. All right, we need somebody to play kind of easy trivia right now. And do I take a run at the Platterpalooza liner or do I just read it stoically?
Take a run.
What do we do? You think so?
You got to.
Oh, so long.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I don't think I can do it.
I'll do your part, and I'll try not to smile.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you'll be smiling for sure. Anyway, if you want to win a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's, Abutsky's wife had a classic Mike burger for the first time last week. Says one of the best things ever to touch her lips. It was delicious. So you should have one as well. If you want to win that gift certificate, text Trev right now. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. More thoughts on the Double E and their struggles. Once again, I thought this was going to be a somewhat competitive year. After watching last night, I'm not so sure. I also think BC is better than we give them credit for and could end up being a problem for all these other teams in the West. But if you want to play kind of easy trivia, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Text Trev right now, and one of you will play kind of easy trivia. Martin texts in and says, Trev and Nubs sounds like the two main characters in a 1980s buddy cop movie. What are you going to? I'm going to go see Trev and Nubs this weekend. Morgan is in and says, my 4-year-old daughter absolutely loved the dinosaur pregame. Too bad the game itself was terrible. Well, that's the thing. Good crowd yesterday, decent weather, and the team just lays a dud. That was a tough one. All right, if you want to play kind of easy trivia, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. 3 questions too many. Mark Cordy is going to join us around 8:30 today. The rap for William Huff, all still to come. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio today. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the thumbs up for us. Let's get to the update for Windsor Plywood, Leduc.
According to Jeff Merrick, Paul McFarland will be named the assistant coach of the Edmonton Oilers after being the bench boss of the Calgary Hitmen for just 1 year. The Edmonton Elks couldn't keep up with the BC Lions, falling 31-14 at Commonwealth Stadium last night. Lions QB Nathan Rourke threw for 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also rushed for 54 yards, while Elks QB Trey Ford struggled, throwing just 4 completions in 12 pass attempts. The Toronto Blue Jays dropped their second straight game last night, falling 6-3 to the Athletics, now sitting at 55-41 on the season. Still good enough for first place in the AL East with a 2-game cushion over the New York Yankees. The Jays aren't back in action until Friday when they take on the Giants. Closer to home, the Edmonton Riverhawks come away with a victory last night at Civic Field. 9-5 is the score over the Port Angeles Lefties. It is All-Star Week, so the Riverhawks aren't back in action until Friday when they take on the Kamloops Northpaws in Edmonton at 7. Yannick Sinner made history as the first Italian man to win Wimbledon, defeating 2-time defending champion Carlos Alcaraz in a 4-set final. This marks his 4th Grand Slam title and first on grass. And in the NHL, Vancouver Canucks trade Archer Shilovs to the Pittsburgh Penguins. In return, the Canucks acquired forward Chase Stillman and a 4th-round pick in the 2027 NHL Draft. The Sports Update brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and the surrounding area since 1993. Doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc.
I've seen teams suck before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
Homer, watch your mouth!
I gotta go, my damn reader kids are listening.
Inconceivable!
Yeah, I'm thinking on back.
8:05 on the Nielson Show. Shout out YouTube Trev. Solid updates today. We'll be running it back tomorrow. On Thursday, it'll be Trev and I for the first 2 hours. And then on Thursday, 10-year-old Marshall Bokeith Nielsen will make his show co-hosting debut. Or, did I say Thursday? Wednesday. I got ahead of it. On Wednesday, Marshall will be joining me in the chair from 8 o'clock until 9 o'clock. And the Muzz planning on popping in for about 10 minutes as well. And I might just set those two up to go back and forth on the Bombers and Elks, just like they were in the truck on the way home last night. Marshall was all over her because Elizabeth, God love her, she was still fully supporting the Elks last night in the truck on the way home. Like, she was just like, dude, do not suck. Don't say that about them. But it was a tough one last night. So anyway, that'll be fun. Looking forward to Wednesday's show. That should be a good time. Mark Cordy's going to join us. That's coming up. The rap for William Huff. Text of the day for A&W. Sound of the day, all still to come. And get to 3 questions shortly. And the big question today is, do you ride it out with Trey Ford? And if you are in the camp of riding it out with Trey Ford, do you think as a team they can turn it around as well? Like, I'm saying ride it out for Trey Ford, and when you say ride it out, it almost sounds like you're like, it doesn't matter the results, see how it goes. How many of you are like, no, you stick with, it's not even ride out, you stick with Trey Ford and you turn it around? I'm not too sure how many people are going to be on that part of the conversation. But do you bring in Cody Fajardo at this point to just not play him? I felt like when they brought in Cody Fajardo, it was for this exact scenario. You're not winning football games. You put in a veteran quarterback. So, I don't know. Papa Bear texts in and says, the kids love the tailgate, getting to meet their hero, YouTube Trev. Oh my goodness, Trev, you're being described as a hero, my man.
That was
That's
pretty
so good
cool,
for
man.
you.
There was Papa Bear that showed up with his kids,
That's what he
which
was saying,
really
yeah.
really cool. And then there was another family. Oh, I didn't catch their names. I'm terrible with names.
They
but
like you too.
They the one, the daughter there, the dad was like, she wants to start a YouTube channel. She has some questions, and so that was really cool. It was awesome. Proud moment for sure.
Yeah, that's super cool. All right, we're gonna play some kind of easy trivia. It's brought to you by Mr. Mike's. Eric's on vacation this week. Let's see how ridiculous this is.
Let's go. You got this, buddy.
I don't have the voice. I can't do it.
No, you can.
Mr. Mike's is turning up the Mr. Mike's is turning up the sizzle with Platypalooza. From barbecue rib platters to coastal combos with lobsters and prawns, it's big flavor all summer long. Plus, entry for your hot shot at sizzling summer prices. Get into Mr. Mike's. Platypalooza is on. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally. Enjoy casually.
Same but different, but still same. That was good.
I am so sorry. By Wednesday, I'll really dial it in, all right? That's what we'll do. Yeah. Oh, Eric is so talented at that stuff. Like, I can't.
But that was talented. That was good, man.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
That was great.
All right, who's playing kind of easy trivia? Who do we have?
We've got Vaughn.
All right,
on the line
Vaughn.
today.
I gotta apologize to Vaughn that you had to sit through that. Vaughn, sorry, man. Your ear's still okay?
What?
Clearly not. He hates me. Treble reset the phone. I don't blame him. I would have hung up as well. It wasn't my finest work. I tried though. I didn't just mail it in. You know, over in the chat there, I'm seeing the effort was there. I think the easiest part is the "oh, summer long," but the rest of it was really tough. Lingus says, "Hey, better effort than the Elks, Dusty." Thanks for that, I guess. Jason says, guys, that's good. I discovered the Achy Breaky podcast over the weekend. It's awesome. So funny and entertaining. Watching the videos is hilarious. You guys are great on there. Thanks, Jason. Enjoy them all. We haven't done a new one in a little while. We've been kind of busy building this business, but once we get this place on cruise control, we'll get back to the Achy Breaky. Barry the Cheater to the Paris Jewelers inbox today, trying to get his hands on that gift certificate to A&W. The Elks need to be hungry like Zach is for free food in the EST work fridge. Yeah, I mean, that would probably help it. Also, I want to do a quick shout out to everybody who won their Summer Ball Hockey League championships. Saw those popping up online yesterday. As a guy who used to play ball hockey and win the odd championship, congratulations to all of you. It's not easy in those soccer centers in the summer. It can get pretty sweaty up in there. All right, we got Vaughn. We're going to try Vaughn again. Hello, Vaughn.
Hello, I can barely hear you, Dusty.
Okay, well then I will scream loud, Vaughn. All right, here we go. Trev will start the ticker after I read the first question. Good luck, man.
Okay.
Did the Elks win last night?
No.
What position does Cody Fajardo play?
Quarterback.
Name one player on the BC Lions.
Rourke.
Which league has their All-Star break this week?
The MLB.
Which team is currently first place in the AL East?
The Blue Jays.
Boom. Got it.
And he got it! That is why I did it! At number 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am! Get it right!
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Ooh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year we took it to the limit.
Take it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Monday morning club beat loop. PT Mark to the Paris Jewelers inbox today. Paris Jewelers. Local stores, West Edmonton Mall, Kingsway, Londonderry, Sherwood Park Mall, St. Albert Center. Great website, parisjewelers.com. They are Canadian family owned. You're going to want to support them if you're looking for something shiny. Any parents that watch Moana know that that's from Moana. Anyway, huge selection of engagement rings, wedding bands, and flexible payment options such as, do not pay for a year. Not bad. PT Mark texts in and says, is the defense that bad because they spend so much time on the field? Trey looked like Trey off the first possession. Then he tried to be something he is not. Is that on the OC or him trying something different? That's the burning question. It is tough. Like I said earlier, if they had a defense that even was remotely close to resembling a playoff caliber defense and they weren't winning games, I think I'd be a lot quicker to go to Cody. But is the defense that bad because they're on the field so much because the offense can't put together drives, especially yesterday? I think yesterday nothing went right yesterday for them. So it was a little bit of both. Anytime they got the ball, it was a 2-and-out. And then the defense is like, God, we just got off. Now we got to go back out there and try to stop these guys again. There's a reason Butler ran all over them yesterday. So we've been having that discussion today. You know what, Trev? Can you throw up a YouTube? Let's throw up a YouTube poll. I want to see where people come out on this. Who starts? They're on a bye week. Now, the bye week, you can make a case. Okay, it's a bye week. Reset for Trey. They get the Riders coming off the bye week. Not ideal. I think Trey's played well against the Riders at times, though. But let's just say it's Trey Ford, Cody Fajardo. We're going to throw up the poll on YouTube. You can have a vote. And if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or EdmontonSportsTalk.com, fire in your answer there via text. It's the whole have patience with Trey. If Cody could save the season, if their defense was also, but maybe their defense will be better if Cody can sustain some drives. I don't know. They're in a little pickle with this whole quarterback thing. Mark Cordy's going to join us coming up around 8:30 today. We'll get his thoughts on where they come out on that. The poll is up and voting is coming in fast and furiously. I'm going to let that settle a little bit before we dive into it. Slight edge towards Cody Fajardo at this point. But for the last 2 years, everybody's been calling for Trey. Let's get into 3 questions too many for the great staff at Park Mazda. They're your dealer for life. Mitch is an absolute beauty. We've sent a few listeners there for vehicles over the years, and they have an absolutely wonderful experience. Go see Mitch and the staff at Park Mazda. YouTube, Trev, let's plug your Twitter account today, buddy. What are you rolling over there? YouTube _
Oh, yeah, thank you. YouTube _ Trev to see what I'm up to. I'm always either walking, playing some disc golf, or sleeping over with Glue Guy. We actually brought out the discs. He said he has his own little chain, I guess, or whatever you call it, where you throw the disc into.
Well, as a disc golf guy, you should know what you call it.
What do you call that even? Just
you got it. I mean, you play disc golf all the time. How do you not know?
A hole?
What do you say when you throw it?
Just throw it in the net, I guess.
The old chain hole.
The chain, yeah. What is it called?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Let me know. That's embarrassing. I probably should know that.
Called in disc golf?
The chain thing. Throw it at the chains.
Target basket.
Oh, that's kind of
makes sense.
Underwhelming. Yeah. I wanted something cool. Yeah. But brought the discs and took a few of the people out there, showed them how to throw. And
you're like a pro disc guy.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say pro. I was expecting my first throw. I was like, okay, come on. I've been talking myself up. And then my first throw, it went pretty left. I had good distance on it, but we were 10 drinks in at that point. I didn't really know what I was throwing. I saw doubles. But YouTube _ Trev. Go check it out. Thank you.
Also, check this out. Our early bird bet is up. We're moving early on the CFL lines this week. It was plus 190. It's been bumped to 205. It's just a money line parlay. Bombers at home against the Calgary Stampeders and the Lions at home against the Riders. And you know what? If those results happen, the Riders would go to 4-2. Calgary would go to 4-2. The Lions would go to 4-3, and the Bombers would go to 4-3. So we would have 4-win teams in the West if the Lions and Bombers get it done this week. That's quite the little race. Also makes things extremely difficult for the team that only has 2 points so far. 61% of the vote right now in favor of Cody Fajardo starting in week 8. All right, let's get into the questions. So you can send them to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, or over on the Nasty Chat and YouTube as well. Question number 1, Dusty, what would your ranking of CFL broadcast locations be?
This is a good one.
All right, let's do this. We'll go. Man, the view in Edmonton is really nice. Like, it's nice and low. The view is really nice, but I'm thinking about desk space, space,
everything.
I'm trying to put it all together. So I think I'll probably go Mosaic. That'd be Regina 1, Edmonton 2.
Oh, nice.
The view in BC is better. And there's a little bit more table space. So I'll go BC 3. Winnipeg has a really good broadcast location, but the desk is like maybe 18 inches wide, not even. So it's a little tight. But a great location. Also, I can't see the scoreboard from the booth in Winnipeg, so that's a little bit of a problem. But I still really like the location. It's close to the field, so I'll put Winnipeg at 4. And then I'll go Montreal at 5, Ottawa at 6, Toronto at 7. Calgary, Hamilton's, they're both way up. Barely see anything. I think I'll probably go Calgary at 8 and Hamilton at 9. The Hamilton one is so high up that with the windows open, I was a little scared briefly. I was like, because I've done 2 Grey Cups there, but the radio booths, the windows don't open. So you're kind of like in a glass case. But the TV booth, when I got in the first time the window was open, I was like, oh boy, we're high up here. It's kind of rattling me a little bit. So that one's way too high up. Question number 2. Trev, I want you in on this one. Are we going to be sitting here in November saying that the Oilers are too young up front? Now, you love Ike Howard. He's your guy.
No, we're not going to. Absolutely not.
Not with 2 rookies in the top 6, maybe?
Nope. I think I'm sold on these rookies. I think they're going to be better. They're going to surprise some people. Yeah, it is funny because I was pumped, and I still am pumped about Savoy. Obviously, like Howard, that got me going for sure. But it made me overlook Savoy, I think, quite a bit. And I'm
glad you brought that up because I think I was talking about last week. Like Savoy,
and
has been on a better path.
Yeah, and I'm really warming up to the idea of the Savoy guy. I remember, if you know, but the Oilers also drafted Carter Savoy, Matt Savoy's brother, and the 2020 draft 100th overall. And so I remember I was like, oh, this Carter Savoy, but his brother, he's up and coming, and he's actually a hell of a lot better than his older brother. And so I was like, oh, that's fascinating. And I was always like, damn, I wish we got the other Savoy brother. I wish we did. So last year when they acquired him through a Ryan McLeod trade, I was like, what the hell is going on? No way we just got Matt Savoy I was pretty big on his draft year as well. And I know some projections had him ranked like top 5, not even joking. Like I did some research. Some drafts had him going like 5 and up, which is just crazy. I think 5 was the highest he was ranked. He did fall a little bit, but man, everything as far as the points have gone, what he's been able to do in junior last year, what he was able to do, just very impressive numbers that he was able to put out there. So I thought he was decent in his 4-game stretch. I kind of talked about it last week as well when he came up. That was probably the biggest lull. It was right after 4 Nations there. They got spanked by Philly. They got spanked by Washington. They got like that whole road trip was just so brutal. So he came in at a rough time there. But I'm expecting him to be very noticeable, him and Ike Howard, and different players for sure. But no, this is what I want. I want some speed. I want some youth in the lineup. That's what I think. I missed that I think that was one of the biggest things this year. It was just, they were a little bit slower. Obviously they were a lot older. So I'm all for it. I for sure, even if it isn't going as good, I'm not going to be, oh no, they're too young. I'm not going to be, that's not why
you're not that guy.
No, I'm not going to even entertain that idea.
I think they might be a little bit, but they've got a pretty good veteran group everywhere else. So if you can have a couple of guys in there. I think last week was an excellent example of the entire recency bias conversation in however it pops up in any sport, in any conversation. It was just like Ike Howard was this new toy, and everybody was, it seemed like people totally forgot about Matt Savoy in the same draft being drafted significantly higher.
Yeah.
Matt Savoy torching the Western Hockey League offensively for 3 years. Matt Savoy being one of the best rookies in the American Hockey League last year. Like, so far, Matt Savoy is a more accomplished player than Ike Howard.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
So I think if you are excited about Ike Howard, you should be just as, if not even more excited about Savoy, which could be a good thing. I mean, if both of these guys can even become remotely close to panning out, you found 2 top 6 wingers.
Yes.
Who are young guys, affordable contracts right now. Pender's Pancake says maybe this takes some of the pressure off Savoy and he can focus a little bit more.
Yeah. And then, it was a good point. I was talking to Benny last week when we were just off air there. And he grew up with Matt Savoy. He's friends. He knows him, I guess. Okay. I think he played hockey with him growing up. And when he was talking to Matt, he said, when I came up here last year, like I'm paraphrasing, but he said I was the youngest one, and I didn't really. It's not that I didn't fit in, but I was significantly younger than anyone.
There wasn't really many younger guys.
Yeah, and so Matt said like he's pumped to get this Howard kid because he has someone now that you look at Macklin, Celebrini, and Will Smith, right? It's an age thing. So now you got 2 kids coming up. They're the same age. They're kind of in the same opportunity. That'll be good for him, his growth as well, to have someone come up same age as him.
Your thoughts on it, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. I could see being a little bit concerned about 2 rookies in the top 6, if that's where they end up slotting in. We know Knobloch moves the things around. These guys are probably going to be on the third line for a little bit here or there. But yeah, I don't think you need to be overly concerned about the team being too young. I think that's a little bit of a weird way to describe or to ask the question, I guess. Question number 3. Do you guys plan on celebrating National Mac and Cheese Day today? Whoa. Mac and Cheese Day. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's going to be tough, though. It's my wife's birthday. It's going to be a bad look tonight if I'm like, hey, for birthday dinner, would you like some KD and wieners? That's probably not going to go over well. So unless there's a lunch mac and cheese celebration. Trevor, I don't know, are you a huge mac and cheese guy?
Well,
it's mac and cheese day. It's National Mac and Cheese Day. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I'm like one of the biggest. Chocolate milk, mac and cheese, sign me up.
God, that's a good combo right there.
Yeah, man. That is.
Oh.
What is your go-to mac and cheese topping? Like, do you like it
People are
plain?
gonna hate this. I just put a little bit of ketchup on it.
Oh, me too, man.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
We're a couple of ketchup mac and cheese boys.
I knew I liked
Did
you.
we just become best friends?
Yep. Yeah. Oh no, man. That's a good pick. I'm always drizzling some ketchup on there. I don't mind some crunch every now and then. I'll go for the breadcrumbs. I think that can be good.
You know what? That is a sneaky good addition.
It is, and that's what was so good about the Italian Center mac and cheese.
Yes.
It had some on there, so that was good.
I mean, if anybody's gonna know mac and cheese,
yes,
the Italian Center will take care of that for you.
absolutely. But I'm a big bacon and jalapeno guy. If there's bacon and jalapeno on mac and cheese, I don't even care what else is on the menu. That is what I'm getting. But that's always one of the first things I look at. Where's the mac and cheese? Okay, I look at it, and then I'll kind of circle around. But man,
I still remember my favorite mac and cheese of all time at a place in Saskatoon called the Rook and Raven. Myself,
good.
Phrase, and I think Evan Dawn from the Elks. We went there when we were there for University Hockey Championships. And did you say that sounds good?
I was like, that sounds good.
It was delicious, absolutely delicious. I guess if I was putting together the perfect mac and cheese, a little bit of bacon, the breadcrumb, the crumbs on top, and cut up hot dogs in the mix.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Have you ever had Smokies with cheese, like cheddar Smokies?
I've had cheddar Smokies
on like mixed with.
No,
instead of just normal hot dogs, because you get a little bit more cheese.
Wow, are you rich
right?
or something?
No. But it's just, I mean, it's a secret, man. I feel like everyone should give it a go. It just makes sense, right? Cheese and hot dogs. You got a hot dog. What about cheddar Smokies? Like, it just makes sense.
It does make sense.
Just extra cheese, and sometimes if you get the jalapeno cheddar.
Well, we're gonna have Mark Cordy on here right away. Hopefully, you get the phone sorted out. I have to get him on. I'll send you his number.
Yeah, I'll reset
I wonder
it.
if he's a mac and cheese guy.
I'll reset it.
He might be a mac and cheese guy.
I think so.
Who
isn't?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, honestly.
Have you ever met anybody who's like, you know what? I don't eat macaroni and cheese.
I don't like them.
I could live off macaroni and cheese with hot dogs for probably 2 months.
Yes.
Hey, I think that's reasonable. I don't think I'm exaggerating.
No, man, that's like
2 months.
It's good on carbs. Get some protein on there. It's more and more. Yeah, you got some cheese. That's dairy. It's healthy.
It's one of the more healthy lunch dishes I think you can have.
I think for sure. 100%.
How long could you go eating just mac and cheese? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, late evening snack? Where do you come out on cold mac and cheese the next day?
Never dabbled with that.
It's also good.
Really?
It's not as good as it is warm, but that's something that my dad passed down to me.
Okay.
The love of cold mac and cheese the next day.
I'll have to give that a go.
It's pretty delicious. Pinto Crick says, make the KD in the wiener water after you boil the wieners. I mean, now we're flying too close to the sun here. I don't know. I've never done that. I just got a text from a person we like to call the commish, Quinn Phillips. Quinn, I need your availability in July for a possible bird draft. She says she did a story on Matt Savoy when he was 14. That's back when local media companies used to do stories on things. Anyway, shout out Quinn Phillips. She golfed with Bruce from William Huff, and he absolutely loved her. How can you not? She's a beauty. Jen says, do you let your mac and cheese sit out with your chocolate milk, Trev?
No, I won't do that for food. Just chocolate milk, which I did have. So
you did? You know what? I had a chocolate milk in my truck, which was at the airport for 3 days.
Yeah.
And I got back in it, and it was still sitting there. It was like half of a like a little thing left, half of like a container.
Oh, and you had a sip of it.
No. But I thought, I wonder if Trev would want this.
You should have brought it in for me. 3-day-old chocolate milk.
Here you go, Trev, just the way you like it.
Yeah.
It's been sitting in my truck in the sun for 3 days.
You know what? If it's like, honestly, warm chocolate milk's not bad.
Yeah. I want to watch you drink it and look at it like in The Wedding Singer when she makes Adam Sandler eat those meatballs that she pays him with. You're just like, do you like it? Yeah. All right, Mark Cordy's on the way. Let's get to an update for a place where it's always game day, Selly Sports Bar and Lounge. And then we'll have the wrap coming up for William Huff. But we're going to check in with Mark Cordy. He's got to be a Mac. Offensive lineman? I don't want to, judge based on body type, but offensive linemen must love mac and cheese. Probably. I don't know. Let's get to the update with YouTube, Trev.
According to Jeff Merrick, Paul McFarland will be named the assistant coach of the Edmonton Oilers after being the bench boss of the Calgary Hitmen for just 1 year. The Edmonton Elks couldn't keep up with the BC Lions, falling 31-14 at Commonwealth Stadium last night. Lions QB Nathan Rourke threw for 345 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also rushed for 54 yards, while Elks QB Trey Ford struggled, throwing just 4 completions in 12 pass attempts. The Toronto Blue Jays dropped their second straight game last night, falling 6-3 to the Athletics, now sitting at 55-41 on the season. Still good enough for first place in the AL East with the 2-game cushion over the New York Yankees. The Jays aren't back in action until Friday when they take on the Giants. Closer to home, the Edmonton Riverhawks come away with the victory last night at Civic Field. 9-5 is the score over the Port Angeles Lefties. It is All-Star Week, so the Riverhawks aren't back in action until Friday when they take on the Kamloops Northpaws in Edmonton at 7. And Yannick Sinner, he made history as the first Italian man to win Wimbledon, defeating 2-time defending champion Carlos Alcaraz in a 4-set final. This marks his 4th Grand Slam title and first on grass. And in the NHL, Vancouver Canucks trade Artur Shilovs to the Pittsburgh Penguins. In return, the Canucks acquired forward Chase Stillman and a 4th-round pick in the 2027 NHL Draft. The sports update presented by Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge. With wall-to-wall TVs, daily food, and drink specials, it's the place to be for every Elks game. Every day is game day at Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge.
To get away for a little fun and play. So fly and stay with the A at Nasty. Come to Mexico for a lot of fun. Come to Mexico for a little sun. Come to Mexico to get some rest. Come to Mexico, it's gonna be the best.
8:35 on the Nielson Show. Come to Mexico. It is going to be the best. We are going with Expedia Cruises, Northeast Edmonton, Chelsea over there, planning and coming with us on this trip. Give her a call, 780-970-4834. There are limited spots left. This thing is filling up quickly. We're going to Planet Hollywood Cancun Resort. Can't wait. February 22nd to March 1st. Less than $2,500. Direct flight down. 5 stars. Yada, yada, yada. It's an amazing time. You can text us anytime. Paris Jewelers inbox. One of those text messages is going to win the text of the day for A&W. Get you a gift certificate to A&W. Can't go wrong with that. And it is National Mac and Cheese Day. Do you celebrate? Do you recognize National Mac and Cheese Day? Let us know. What's your favorite recipe? How do you make it work? Are you just a straight up KD guy? Do you make it at home with the other various types of homemade cheeses that you've melted down? There's lots of different things that you could look at there. 780-218-9999. That was one of the things I was most excited to make regularly when I moved out of my parents' house for the first time. Like, oh, now I can have mac and cheese whenever I want. How's it going over there, Trev?
Man, I'm nervous. I don't know what's going on. A little behind the scenes, having a little Bluetooth connection recently. With our one phone, it says it's connected.
Well, let's see. Let's find out if Mark Cordy's there.
I really hope it is.
Mark, good morning. Are you there, man? It says it is not connected. Okay. He's going to try to reconnect it. I'll get to this text. Friedel says, guys, wait a second here. I want to loop back on something. Texter said, cook the mac and cheese in the hot dog water after boiling the hot dogs. But do people actually cook the hot dogs first? Don't you all just cut up your hot dogs and throw them into the boiling pasta near the end and let them cook that way? I'm so confused. Wow. Friedel, my man. I have never, ever thought of doing that. I do cook the hot dogs separately in a different pot. But I guess if you cut them up near the end, threw them in with the pasta, however you want to say it. I mean, I guess you're kind of skipping the middleman there. Huh. Well, that's kind of interesting. Abutsky says YouTube Trev must have a superhuman tolerance for bacteria after all that nightstand chocolate milk. Yeah, he's going to get extremely sick one day, I think. I wait for that call every morning. Call when Trev goes, uh-oh, Dusty, the body's not handling the warm chocolate milk this morning very well. Surveyor Brett says, I'm a real sicko. I like to add cheese whiz to my KD mac and cheese. You're not a sicko. I think a number of people do that. This text is in, no handle on it. Says, for a guy on a diet, all this mac and cheese talk is killing me. Sorry, man. We'll start talking about broccoli and celery and other healthy foods. Those are like the only 2 or 3 I can name. I'm not good at that. I also haven't had celery in years. And when I did have celery, I had it with peanut butter, and it was delicious. Jay says, my wife bought me a steamer with a tray for the dogs, and you put the buns on top. It's amazing. God, what are you, running in Orange Julius? Easy E, you can eat a cold hot dog, just throw it in the pot near the end and warm it up a bit. Yeah, where do we come out on eating the cold ones? That's not ideal, is it? Sometimes, though, you have to, right? All right, let's see if we can chat with Mark this morning. Mark Cordy, offensive lineman for the Elks, joins us this morning. Mark, good morning. Do we have you now?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Thanks for having me on.
There we go. That'll work. Appreciate the time, man, especially after last night's game. And you know what? Let's just get right to the top. I thought it kind of looked good really early, and then it sort of fell off the rails after that. What about this? What about the start? I mean, did you guys kind of drop the ball early, and then just once you get behind it a little bit, how difficult is it to turn momentum in a football game?
Yeah, it's tricky, right? Because we started out with a good first drive, right? And ended up, not being able to finish it. Just missed a throw. You throw to Dunbar there, and then it's tricky when then you get behind, and it's a momentum swing as well. Energy wise in the game. So and then as the game goes, as you fall behind and you're down a decent amount going into halftime, it sort of changes how you play. So I think that's one thing we did well against Ottawa last week. Ended up starting fast and jumping out to the lead, and that makes life a lot easier if you can do that. Inversely, last night when you fall behind early, it makes everything harder.
As a group and as one of the leaders of this group, Mark, how do you not let last night get to you? Because it looked like things were trending in the right direction. Picked up the victory at home last week. I think a lot of people thought it was possible that you guys maybe upset BC this week as well. So as a team, how do you just flush that one when you're going to have an extra week to think about it?
Yeah, it's tricky, right? Because you always want to go into bye weeks with wins. It just helps everything out. But, I think it's important to, from a team perspective, to have a look at this game and take what you can from it. But also realize that, let's move on. Let's get over this bye week here. Make the corrections we need to, but also get a little bit of time to decompress from football, so you can come back. And then we're on a bit of I think we're on 10 games, 11 games, so our next bye week. So make sure you come back with a full tank of gas, to make a run there as we go through, kind of the heart of the season and through Labor Day coming up in about 6 weeks here. So I think that's the biggest thing is make what changes you need to. You can't forget about the game. But move on from it and come back fully charged.
You know, from everybody always says, you know, game to game, you want to take a game to game, but when you come out of the gate with this record, do you still I'm curious from an athlete's perspective, do you still take that approach, or do you have to crank up the urgency because of the standings at the time?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think you definitely feel that, you know, that sort of, I don't know if pressure is the right word for it, but you feel that urgency of like, okay, when you look at teams, especially a team like BC, who we're kind of trying to reel in standings wise, you know, you kind of feel, you know, it's like being in a race, right? You feel the pack almost starting to fall away from you early, and you know you got to kind of catch back up to it. You feel that sort of on a larger scale, but I mean, week to week, it's the same as always. You're putting everything you have into each game individually, so it doesn't necessarily change the approach a lot, but I think mentally you kind of feel that urgency of you know, you can't let people, you know, let other teams get too far away from you standings wise, for sure.
Elks offensive lineman Mark Cordy with us on the show this morning following last night's loss to the BC Lions. David Beard did dress. How big will it be to get him back in there on a regular rotation? And how important is it for you guys on the line to be able to establish the run, which went very well last week with Rankin? Couldn't really get much going last night, but you get Beard back healthy here, even more so after a bye week. How much of this has to start with you guys and getting the running game going?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, having David back will be huge for us. You know, he's, you know, no pun intended, but he's right at the center of everything we do. So he'll be a huge piece to add back in when we come out of the bye. That'll kind of, you know, get us back to the group that we went through training camp with, and that, you know, is all comfortable. We've had some guys step in and do really good work over the past few weeks, but having him back will make a huge difference. I think getting the run game going is huge for us always. I think that's a core part of who we want to be as an offense. And it was unfortunate last night. Like I think they came in with a really good plan for us, and they were pretty committed to making sure that we weren't going to beat them running the ball. They did some interesting things, some things they haven't done in the past. So yeah, that was unfortunate. And then, you know, looking forward, that's going to be who we want to be is a team that runs the ball well. And that starts with our group up front. So putting together good plans, and that'll be important for us, and guys executing techniques and whatnot. And David's a huge part of that. So having him back again will be big for us.
Mark, you've been around this team for a little while now, and you know it's so different because you know you want to preach patience. Because of, you know, a new president in Chris Morris, and Ed Hervey's back as GM, and you have a new coaching staff, and Trey has been anointed as, you know, the number one guy this year for the first time in his career. So I think the fan base very much understands that there needs to be some patience here, but you do want to see the team take a step in the right direction. From a player's perspective, how do you, like, are you done with being patient, I guess, is where I want to go.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm done with being patient. I think there's times when, you know, as someone who's kind of been through the last couple of years, you know, as a player myself, it's like you have to remind yourself, like, okay, this is starting new, right? I think a lot of fans probably have that as well. Yeah. Like, listen, this isn't, you know, like, we kind of drew a line in the sand over the offseason of, like, you know, what happened before that is gone, and we're not worried about that. So, yeah, I think for me, it's like just remind yourself, like, listen, this is all new. Be patient with this. It's going to be okay. You know, I think myself and all the players on the team and everyone in our building trusts what we're doing from the top down. That this is going to work and it's going to be okay. So yeah, I think like, I'll be honest with you, deep down, sometimes there's times when you've been through the last couple of years, just candidly, you feel that, but then you remind yourself, like, listen, you know, we trust what's here. You know, we believe that we're doing the right thing and we're on the right track, and stick with it. And I think, you know, that's whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, whether you're a fan, I'd say that's kind of the same attitude, right? Of like, just trust it. It'll come together.
Sometimes football players or athletes in general are complete freaks to me because Serezna gets hurt early. comes back in, gets the interception. Then at halftime, he's chatting with Tom Gazzola, and he tells Tommy basically, oh, my knee popped out. They just popped it back in. So he keeps playing. Then he goes down again, and he has to get carted off, and everybody comes over. Just speak to Serezna, him coming back here this year. He's such a good defensive lineman. What does he mean to your group?
Yeah, he's an incredible player. Like he's one of the best players we have. He's fantastic. He's an incredible leader. He brings great energy every day to practice. And like you said, like from his interview last night, like you could tell, like he's a tough guy, man. Like he's not physically and mentally, he's a tough guy. So it takes a lot to get him out of the game. I don't know what's wrong, but I can say a lot of good things about Jake. He's an incredible player in person. So hopefully he's not out for long because he means a lot to us on defense and as a team as a whole. So hopefully we have him back very soon.
If somebody had to pop my knee back in, I'd miss 3 months of work and I sit down for a living. So I don't know how he got back out there like that. We were asked today, it is National Mac and Cheese Day. Are you a big mac and cheese guy, Mark?
Yeah, I like the mac and cheese. Everything from craft dinner to something fancy that you put in the oven. And my wife does a really good one. So never turn one down.
A little gourmet mac and cheese guy. I like that. And then what's up for the bye week? What are you getting up to?
I think just a lot of family time. Hopefully play around in golf. Like I said, just kind of decompress a little bit and get ready. So, don't have a lot of strict plans, but just enjoying it one day at a time.
What do you shoot?
If I have a good day, I'll be low 80s. If I have a bad day, I'll be high 80s. It's pretty erratic at times. So, hopefully it's a good day. Haven't played for a little while, so it might be more in the high 80s, but we'll see how it goes.
All right, man. Enjoy it. Great catching up with you. Enjoy the bye week, and we'll see you soon.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Take care.
There you go. That's all-time good guy, Mark Cordy. How about that? Low 80s. Sometimes if it's not going good, high 80s. Shut up, Mark. And your high 80s when it's not going well. What a guy. Hell of a golfer, apparently. So that's nice. No, Mark is, I've known Mark since he was playing at U of A. He's a great dude. Family, big part of the tailgate. Great people. They're down on the field after every single game. It's I want to see that guy have success. Like there's certain individuals that you want the team to do well and all this, but I want to see a guy like Mark have some success here. And you heard him say, he goes, we drew a line in the sand that everything that happened before now is different. It's a fresh start. But he did say, he goes, I'll just be honest with you. Like sometimes it's like, how patient can you be in trying to turn this thing around? All right, good conversation. Trev, good holding of the phone steady that whole time.
Thank you. Came through good. It came through good, I think.
It was fine. I wouldn't say good, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've, back in the old day on radio, we used to sit through some worse calls than that one. Yeah. 100%. So, that was just fine.
My arm was getting tired.
I had to have, yeah. Did you do the thing where you put your other arm under it to hold it up even better? You couldn't do that. Sometimes you can do that,
should
right?
have.
It like braces you a little bit or get it up get an elbow on
that would have been the play.
That would have been a pretty good play. But Trev was just like hovered it. It was good. Good work, Trev.
Thanks, bud.
Strong day for you, Trev.
Thank you.
It's a strong day so far. And you're on the hangout today.
Yeah.
You and that guy who just brought you a coffee.
Oh.
Wearing a nice 780 shirt.
Look at you.
And Benny today.
Are those new glasses, Matty? Oh. Well, I like them.
You're good at guessing haircuts, but not new pairs of glasses.
They looked. He's tricking me.
You know what's the funniest thing about this is that I've been wearing new glasses all day and you haven't said a thing.
No?
Serious? No, I swear to God.
Oh, maybe.
I'm totally messing with you. I'm not wearing new glasses at all.
Oh, damn it.
All right. Let's get into the wrap for William Huff. I saw Bruce last night, actually, on TV. Or on our camera before we went on TV. He was there. He kind of handles the visiting teams. So I saw Bruce down there. I was like, there's Bruce. That's our guy from William Huff. I actually, you know what I'm doing tomorrow? Tomorrow, 1:00, I'm taking Bruce for a little walk through the new office. to see what needs to be wrapped and what doesn't need to be wrapped.
He's going to walk in there like, look at this.
Look at these bare walls. He did say that, nothing gets Bruce more aroused than bare walls.
Like, oh, baby.
You're going to get it, wall.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got a few walls that we'll be wrapping over there. And he did give me the heads up that they're probably going to be able to take the hangout wrap with all the signatures, take it off, move it over, and we'll put it on a secondary wall. It won't be like behind. We're going to do some new designs. But so those autographs will live on.
Okay, good. Because that's a good keepsake. You don't want to get rid of that.
No, it's a memorable thing.
Be teary.
I want to bring pieces of this place with us, right?
For sure.
Rip City Step says the hangout today is like the Oilers' top 6 this year. 2 young guys and an old guy who's never accomplished anything. Wanik's not an old guy, but he's super experienced in the business.
He's a vet.
And a great post-game show last night.
Awesome.
I mean, if you want just the truth about this football team right now, Maddie and Glue Guy are a match made in heaven. Absolutely tremendous post-game shows every single time. You can find that on YouTube. Pop on over and take it back for a spin. All right, yeah. Bruce and his team have been doing it since 1952. They're that good.
Yeah, let's get that up there.
Yeah. All right.
Well, there goes Maddie out the door.
Yeah. What did we learn today, man? What did we learn today?
I learned you didn't get new glasses, nor did Maddie.
I didn't. You're
I
right.
learned some of the favorite toppings of mac and cheeses from some of the nasties, and it's National Mac and Cheese Day.
It is.
Who'd have thunk it? So
I think I looked it up because I wanted to see if it actually was. I confirmed that it wasn't, but somebody wasn't lying to us. It's also Nude Day. It's Nude Day.
Nude?
Nude.
Oh.
Not new. Nude, as in naked.
Naked Day. Oh.
So, Trev, this afternoon, mac and cheese in the nude.
Oh, crap.
Out back.
Damn.
Maybe Alex will come join you.
Maybe. Oh, gosh. Just 2 dudes hanging out.
I learned that the Edmonton Oilers apparently are filling one of their coaching vacancies.
Ah, yes. That's a good one.
Paul McFarland?
Yep.
Paul McFarland, according to Jeff Merrick, will be an assistant coach.
Paul.
Is it Paul?
Yeah, it is. Sorry.
I think it's Paul, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, Paul McFarland. Been on NHL benches, most recently in Seattle, previously in Toronto and Florida as an assistant. Some junior hockey head coaching experience, including OHL, WHL. So we'll see where that goes. Let's get to your sound of the day today. Sound of the day. Where do we go for sound of the day today? Whale on the Wolf, little Cave Street pump up song. Somebody's got to get this team going. Might as well be those boys.
That was good.
I can remember back being an 11-year-old kid, about 75 pounds on the basketball court against the neighborhood bully, kicking his behind left, right, and center.
I call you when I need you. My heart's on fire.
When it was all said and done, he was a little upset, so he punched me in the mouth.
You come to me, wild and wild.
My uncles were over on the side, observing, talking amongst themselves, adult things.
When you come to me, give me a...
When he punched me in my mouth, I decided I'm running to my uncle. And you know what he did? He pushed me back to him. I went back and he punched me in my mouth again. I ran to my uncle, looking for protection. Needed Big Brother to protect me. He pushed me back again. And you know what I did? I faced him in the eyes and I said, my uncle's not going to help me. And I punched him in the face. Then I looked him in the eye and I said, then what? Now what? Now what? Now what are you going to do?
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. Stuck on your heart.
Whale and the Wolf, little Cave Street pump up song for you today. Those guys are just all-time beauties as well. Hey, quick shout out. I retweeted this last night, but there was a couple that were camping, tweeted pictures at me of drinking 6 o'clock or lager and having donaires while camping.
Oh my gosh.
I don't camp much myself, but if that's how fun it is, I'm getting a fifth wheel.
Yes.
Done and done.
It's a match made in heaven right now.
I didn't know you could have donaires while camping.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How's that? Do they pre-make them and then bring them out? How's that work?
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, no, that's good.
We're going camping in 2 weeks. I have to call a game in Calgary, not this week, but next week. I think that's the week. Yeah, next week. And then we're going camping with like some 2 families that are school friends type of thing.
Beautiful.
Good dudes, good families, good kids. But we don't camp.
Yeah.
So
You got a tent?
We're going camping in Drumheller.
Okay, nice.
The dinosaur thing.
Yeah.
And the problem is we don't have a tent or anything. So what we did was we found a place where the other 2 families have tents. So they're going to tent. And then we've got like I don't know, it's like a domed sort of perma-tent right next to them that has a couple of beds in it.
Nice.
Because it's just like, what do we do?
Yeah.
We don't have sleeping bags. We got nothing. So I plan on camping like I did in high school, where I'm going to pull the vehicle in. I'm going to drink my face off. Then I'm going to sleep in the back of my car and get up in the morning and have a bag of chips.
You're just going to be sweating hot.
That's it. Yeah. Just a mess.
Well, that's not bad. Well, I hope you have so much fun camping.
Well, yeah, we're just going. It's going to be quick because I'm working on the Thursday. We're going to go camp Friday, Saturday. And then I got to come back here because we're moving offices like on that Monday.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, busy times. But it'll be nice to get away for a little bit. Go check out, the dinosaur museum doesn't change very often, right?
No.
There's no new stuff popping up.
I don't think they're coming up with new dinosaurs these days.
No, this isn't.
They've all been discovered.
You see that new Jurassic Park movie's already over like 550 million? It doesn't matter what it is. People will watch them.
It always is. I have a hard time like wrapping my head around that because my second job I ever had was at movie theater in Pincher. Yeah. And I remember working the night that Jurassic World, the first one with Chris Pratt,
the big one. Okay, yeah.
So that came out and it was actually really, really good. But I remember we sold out the one theater. We sold out a theater, and
that's big for you guys.
It was huge, man. People from all over Pincher were coming to see that movie, and then after, it was just a rush. The lineup was going all throughout Main Street. And then when the movie started, my manager told me, she was like, this is the biggest movie we've sold in maybe 10 years. Not even close. And I'm like, really? Like people, they love dinosaurs, I guess. So yeah, I'm always surprised by that.
All right, let's get to your text of the day. Brought to you by our great partners over at A&W. We got an A&W gift certificate just sitting here waiting for you. You can get in, and then you can go for breakfast. You can go for lunch. You can go for dinner. You can go for something in the middle of the night because all these drive-thrus at A&W are open 24/7. Text of the day is going to be Martin. He doubled down on something after. The Rook and Raven sounds like the nightclub where Trev and Nubs would do their first undercover drug buy in their 1980s buddy cop flick. Nice. I like that. He mentioned Trev and Nubs earlier, then circled back around to when I dropped that Rook and Raven in Saskatoon on me. Also got my Shiny reference from the Moana movie too, so shout out to him. James B says dinosaurs and Scarlett Johansson. I think some people call her ScarJo. No, maybe not. Anyway,
I think I've heard that.
Something Joe.
ScarJo.
ScarJo?
Yeah.
Doesn't sound great.
No, it doesn't.
I've
heard
like
that.
Maybe a name of a dinosaur, to be honest with you. Watch out for the ScarJo.
The Scarjosaurus.
The Scarjosaurus is going to get you. Meanwhile, somehow her husband from SNL is just sitting there. How's that guy get? Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know.
Colin Jost isn't even the funny one.
He's a good personality.
He must be. All right. I'll be back to the lock shop at 11. Huss returns after his week away. Looking forward to catching up with Huss at 11. The Hangout's coming up next. Owanik, Benny, and Trev. I've got a business meeting at 9:30 today at IHOP. Boom.
Nice.
That's when you're winning at life. That should be a fun one. Okay, fun show today, Trev. We'll do it again tomorrow. How's that sound?
I can't wait. That was a lot of fun, Dusty. Thank you so much.
For you too, Trev, I am Dustin Nielsen. ScarJo is apparently a thing.
ScarJo,
Thanks for pointing that out. All right, take it easy.